Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End BBQ. Hope you're having a great Monday. 865-200-5503, B-Trial Waterproofing Hotline. Ben McKee, Charlie Burris, Jason Swain here with you, taking you all the way to 10 a.m. We're live on 850 a.m., 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports. Before you guys get started, I want to let y'all know I'm good.
And I can attest to the fact that Swain is good because before I even sat down, Swain was like, I'm good, and just started talking about the game.
I'm good. 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes after the game, I was good. I went to a meeting after the game, came back home, started prepping for the show.
Was that
bedtime routine for the girls? I'm good.
What was that meeting with Jesus?
No.
The game?
Nah, man, I'm good, dude. I don't let sports affect me that much. When you play it, when you've done it, you kind of learn how to move on. I think sometimes the fans take it harder than the players. And so I'm good, man. I think there's some positives to take away from the game. This is a young football team, the Chicago Bears, one of the youngest teams in the league. A second-year quarterback. You just got Khalil Mack right before the start of the season. This team was picked to win 6 games. They won 12. You lost in a heartbreaking fashion. You know, the kick was no good. The ball was tipped barely at the line of scrimmage. Even though he kind of kicked it and it kind of swung to the left, I knew it was a possibility he was going to miss it. There was plenty of opportunities in that football game. We know as football fans, it's hard to say you lost a game off of one play. I thought Allen Robinson, a pro wide receiver who's played the game a long time, he's not a rookie, messed up on a routine toe tap on the sideline. That size 18 cleat, it looked like, unable to execute the toe tap. I thought that was big. You have a chance to get the ball inside 5-yard line and score a touchdown, but instead you kick the field goal. First-year head coach, second-year quarterback. I'm good. I think the future is bright. I think they need to go out and draft themselves another lineman or tight end or another wide receiver to go along with Mitchell Trubisky. I'm good, man. Trust me, I'm good.
Now,
but the jokes, bring the jokes. I can laugh about it.
Now, I want to point out, I know you can handle the jokes and you probably prefer to see the jokes, but just realize I was not one of the ones that came after you after the Bears lost like Volstorm. I'm not the type of friend like Volstorm to where I'm just constantly in your mentions trying to rain even more in your parade.
Volstorm was a Titans fan, right?
Just remember that.
Is he a Titans fan?
I don't think he's ever officially said what he is.
Doesn't seem like he does.
I think he's a Titans fan.
I think he's a Titans fan, but he's not a Titans fan.
He seems to be an agent of chaos more than anything.
He likes just
messing with folks.
Kicking people while they're down.
Yeah. Trust me. I'm good. There's nothing you're going to say about my Bears that's going to, bother me or trigger me. I'm going to laugh. Now, if it was Tennessee and Tennessee lost in heartbreaking fashion, that's a little bit different. But trust me, I'm good.
I did see where you threatened to block somebody last night. I can't remember what the person said, but
oh yeah, I was totally joking.
I know, I was rolling though.
Yeah, I don't like blocking folks, man. I think it's weak.
Yeah, I can't come at you either because, I mean, look, my NFL team's not in the playoffs, so what am I supposed to say? And then past that,
well, the one thing all three of us can say is that we all had the same amount of playoff wins.
That's true.
And we can throw Brad into
it's a big
that.
season.
We can throw Brad into that as well.
Yes.
I guess.
Ooh, that was rough for them, too.
R.I.P. Lamar.
Hey,
yeah.
I think if you're the Ravens, you can be optimistic.
No,
I mean, Lamar Jackson battled back. I thought they should have benched him, but he proved that he's a fighter. He led them back down to the for a chance to win, one score. The thing about people looking at Lamar Jackson is I think the same way that Josh Dobbs got blamed for the South Carolina loss there in 2016. You don't get there without him. You're not even in playoffs without Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is the reason why you're in the playoffs, his play. And so that's one thing you have to think about too. He's a rookie, and he'll be improving moving forward. So there's some positives to kind of build on if you are the Ravens for sure.
Well, they had the best defense in the league. And it's weird because
the Bears had the best defense.
I think statistically the Ravens had the best defense if we're speaking statistically. But either or.
We're still both out the playoffs.
Yeah, splitting hairs. But it's weird because in the AFC North, for the past, at least for sure the last couple of seasons and really the last 20 seasons, it's been the Pittsburgh Steelers with the most hope. Going into this offseason, the brightest future is in Cleveland and in Baltimore. It's a changing of the guard in the AFC North.
Yep, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So I'm cool with the jokes. They ain't going to bother me one bit. I'm a big boy. If I can go through Tennessee football the last couple of years and come back on a Monday and do the show and do it with my head on straight and put the emotions to the side and talk about the game, and I gave 4 years, 2 surgeries, everything I had at Tennessee, I think I'm okay with Chicago. I really wanted Chicago, the city, to get that win, a home game. That city deserves a winner. They don't have any other team right now. So I'm good, but keep the jokes coming. Don't bother me one bit. I like a good laugh. I just hate that the kicker is going to get death threats and things like that. And that's never cool. Never cool.
But you know what can't be joked on? The Tennessee Volunteers basketball team beating Georgia.
Georgia can be joked on.
By 46 points. My goodness, what a game that was.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. No doubt about it. And,
I had to today. I have a pullover right now. But so last season, Tennessee beat Georgia to grab a share of that SEC title. And I had to wear the SEC title shirt today in honor of that absolute beatdown of Georgia.
It was a beatdown.
Had to do it.
And we will discuss it. If you are just tuning in, you don't listen to the Swain event that much or whatever, or you missed when we talked about why the Christmas tree is still lit, it is January the 7th. The Christmas tree is still lit. It's still up because I'm keeping it up until Tennessee hires an offense coordinator.
You know what day it is?
Huh?
You know what day of the coaching search it is, right?
No.
We've approached Jackie Robinson Day.
Yeah, 43.
It depends on who you look at because I say 42 because I count from the Monday when it was officially he left. I'm not counting from Sunday.
Okay.
So from that Monday, it is 42 days. From the Sunday where it was reported by Chris Lowe, it's 43. But when Tyson Helton officially took the job at Western Kentucky, it's 42. So we're Jackie Robinson days away, or Jackie Robinson days into Tennessee needing an offensive coordinator.
Either one is not good.
Tomorrow will be Troy Polamalu. The day after will be Jakob Johnson days. The day after will be A.J. Johnson.
I don't think it's good or bad, to be honest, Charlie.
That's true. If you end up with a good hire, it's net neutral. So
I think folks are being dramatic and they like this fake outrage. They just want to get mad about something. Like save your energy to get mad about something that warrants it. Like, what you mad about right now? Wait till they hire someone that stinks, then get mad. But right now, you can be disappointed that we haven't hired somebody sooner. But I would rather be in the position that I am in right now as a Tennessee fan than USC.
That is for sure. Lynn Swan is getting all sorts in the way. The only thing I would say, I agree that, and I've said this all along, Tennessee can still make a really good hire. They could also still make a really bad hire. But we won't know until a year from now. Yeah. But at this point, it does look like the search for an offensive coordinator has not had a plan. I mean, maybe it has had a plan, but a dysfunctional plan is the only negative I would say.
That's fair. Now we gotta go to the phones. We are going to spend the appropriate amount of time on the team and the program that deserves it, and that's the Tennessee basketball team. I failed to do that on Friday. Won't fail to do that today. We have a championship basketball team. We have a team that, in my opinion, is the best team in college basketball, so they need to get the appropriate amount of attention. Also, there's a little dust up there with the Lady Vols in Missouri yesterday. We'll spend a little bit of time on that. Trust me, it ain't in the show notes for an hour or 2 hours a day, but it is worth mention, so we will do that and talk about that at some point during the show. Let's get to the phones. Let's bring in Andy. Andy, good morning.
How y'all doing this morning?
Great, Andy. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, congrats to the men yesterday putting down a beat down. So I'm hearing things about supposedly we may have an OC by the end of the week and possibly it be Chaney. What's your take on that? Because I've heard that Pittman and him are a package deal.
They have been at the same place 3 stops, Tennessee, Arkansas, now Georgia. I'll be honest, I haven't heard that it was done or it was close to being done. I haven't heard that at all. I do know that Pruitt likes Jim Chaney a ton, and I've used Chaney's offense as an example when talking about the type of offense that Jeremy Pruitt wants to run in Tennessee. If you listen to the show, even before the season, even before there was an offensive coordinator search, I would use Chaney as an example. Well, what kind of offense do we want? But you want it to be like Chaney's. You know, you want to be able to run down the hill when you need to, but use your playmakers on the outside, which I don't know if they did the best job of that because there's just so much talent. You know, guys like Miko Hardman, he's talented, but it's only one ball. And, you know, he needs to develop more as a pass catcher anyways. But I'm pretty sure those receivers felt like they could have got the ball a little bit more, used a little bit more. But how can you complain when you won the SEC championship, you competed for another one, and you played a national championship game? So, yes, you want to get your stats. Yes, you want to get yours. But as a team, you really can't complain. They've been in a position to win a championship. But I have not heard that Tennessee is going to get Jim Chaney. I know this from discussions with Sam Pittman. I know this from folks close to Jim Chaney. And I had talked to Pittman like 7 years ago, by the way. They love East Tennessee. They love this area. They love Knoxville. Georgia, Kirby Smart does not value Jim Chaney enough. He does not appreciate him enough. They stripped a title away from him last year. He was the quarterback's coach and offensive coordinator. This is a guy who coached up Tyler Bray, who coached up Drew Brees, who has done a great job with quarterbacks. But they took away him coaching quarterbacks. They moved him to tight ends. They took their wide receiver coach and moved him to quarterbacks, and then they gave him a $400,000 raise. To me, that looks like Kirby is trying to tell Chaney, hey, man, we don't really need you. It's good to have you, and we know how you and Pittman are tight. We want you because we know that Pittman's going to be here too. Pittman's more valuable than you. If Jim Chaney is tired of being underappreciated, he still has not renewed his contract. His contract is expired here coming up. then if I'm Jordan Pruitt, I'll reach out to him. I think the likelihood of getting both Chaney and Sam Pittman, they don't look real great right now, but there's going to be some movement around college football in the SEC on staffs. Jeremy Pruitt last year inherited a staff. He inherited a running back coach. That running back coach was Robert Gillespie. Robert Gillespie is one of the best running back coaches in the country. I think we all can agree he did a fabulous job with Jalen Hurd, with Alvin Kamara, and with John Kelly. There's no doubt about that. Robert Gillespie was not a fit with the staff. Number one. Number two, he did not do a really good job recruiting at all. I mean, this is Tennessee. This is the Power T. Robert did not do a good job recruiting at all. And so Jeremy Pruitt made a change there for recruiting, bringing in Chris Winkie. That change, I'm sorry, it has not paid off in recruiting, in my opinion. It needs to be better. Recruiting on the offensive side of the football from some assistant coaches have not been what we expect. What is the most important thing to Jeremy Pruitt? What has he talked about all season? It even ruffled some feathers, made people feel bad that he's being mean. All he has talked about is the personnel and recruiting. That is the most important thing for Jeremy Pruitt. So if you are an assistant coach on his staff and you're not bringing in dudes, there's a possibility that you could be replaced. That's where we are today. We are in the middle of the coaches convention that takes place between January the 6th and January the 9th. That location of the coaches convention this year is in San Antonio. The coaches convention is where all the coaches come together, they network, they chit-chat, they talk. If you're on the staff, you're trying to leave to go somewhere else, you go to the coaches convention, you mingle, you talk. If you don't have a job, this is where you go, you mingle, you talk, you network. So I expect a little bit of movement during this time. Things that happen. Now, the signing day comes into play because remember last year a change was not made until after National Signing Day. Is Jeremy Pruitt, if he knows he wants to make some changes, or if there's some assistant coaches on this staff that want to go somewhere else, is that change going to wait until after signing day? That's hard for me to believe because you only got 4 spots available. You already have most of your class signed. So you don't really have to do that this year. So coaches who are willing to leave or they want to leave, they should do it now, in my opinion. That's going to free up some spots for Pruitt to make some moves. Now, here's where T. Martin comes into play. Folks, hear T. Martin's name and automatically go, coordinator, offense coordinator, offense coordinator. I don't want him as offense coordinator. You see what he did at USC last year? I don't want him. Just running the mouth and not knowing any facts. T. Martin, if he were to come back, it would be as an assistant coach and possibly a co-offensive coordinator scenario. I have not heard about any situation where he would come in and be the offensive coordinator. He would be a co-offensive coordinator, possibly with a Steve Sarkisian, possibly with a Jim Chaney, but possibly with a Jeff Lebby. Those are things I think that's been talked about and maybe discussed. But T. Martin's not going to come in and be the offense coordinator. I have not heard anything about that. So that's where we are, Andy.
What do you think about possibly Kirby Smart leaving Georgia? What do you think about that?
I don't believe it.
And where Andy is coming from there, I believe an NFL team expressed interest in him, but there was no like, oh, Kirby Smart's interested in that job too.
I don't believe it. I believe just like Harbaugh's name was mentioned, I believe that stuff was kind of brought up to affect recruiting.
Yeah.
I just don't believe Kirby Smart is going to the NFL. I just don't. That's his school. He failed to reach the top of the mountain, to win a championship. He has unfinished business. I just don't believe that right now. I understand the NFL is kind of morphing into college football as far as X's and O's. They're giving new guys opportunities. But I think you have mentioned this. NFL, all they do is just recycle old coaches. That's all they do. Hugh Jackson gets fired. It's one place. He goes to the division rival. He gets fired there, goes here. I mean, the NFL just recycles coaches. And I think some clubs are looking at new coaches and new coaching styles. The Eagles did this. The Bears have done this. You look at the Colts and where they are. They have kind of bucked the whole, let's hire a retread, let's get someone new blood. And maybe there's some pro teams, the Jets and the Tampa Bay Bucks and other programs that want to look into the college game for a coach or want to give an opportunity to a quarterback coach or a special teams guy, a new person instead of the old Wade Phillips, Jeff Fisher, John Fox retread of coaches. So I don't believe it right now. I don't believe it. I don't believe Kirk Smart going anywhere, to be honest. 865-250-5503. We'll take our first break of the day, first break of the week. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End BBQ has a new slew of daily specials for the fall. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the smokehouse stew, barbecue cheddar meatloaf, or the smoked turkey and dressing, which includes sliced smoked turkey and cornbread dressing paired with sautéed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and a side of turkey gravy. While Dead End offers a different specialty meal each day, you can get their hillbilly chili every day. There is always something new at Dead End BBQ. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End BBQ. The fall flavor search is over. Join the Swain Event at Dead End BBQ on Wednesday, February 6th to celebrate the Vols' victories on the recruiting trail. Enjoy a special barbecue breakfast and listen to Jason Swain and the guys break down each signee during the special edition of the Swain Event live from Dead End BBQ. They will be giving away t-shirts and other awesome items. Former players will be on hand as well as great guests. What better way to celebrate the 2019 signing class than enjoying some delicious barbecue and hanging out with the Swain Event? Spend National Signing Day with the Swain Event and Dead End BBQ.
Do you want a custom-themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team.
Are you looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? If so, then call me, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. I take a no-nonsense approach to the real estate transaction. No fluff, just facts. Having lived and worked in the Knoxville area for 19 years, I am very familiar with the local real estate landscape and am ready to help you get the most money for your property with the least amount of hassle in the shortest amount of time. No one likes for their home to sit on the market for months at a time. If a straightforward approach to your real estate needs is what you prefer, then give me a call. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty at 865-694-5904 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do you do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
Eight 255-03 B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. My goodness, Tennessee. Woo! 46-point win to start SEC play. You don't win like that unless the other team lays down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you, Georgia. Appreciate that. Make me feel good about my Bears losing, because I have Tennessee basketball, and, man, they put a smackdown on Georgia. And Georgia's always been like a tough opponent for Tennessee. Always play down when they're playing really well. They play down against Georgia, find a way to lose. But if you're Rick Barnes, man, how do you critique that performance? Like, what do you say if you're Rick Barnes?
Well, so after that game, I noted it. I tweeted this out. That was probably the first post-game presser that I heard this year where he didn't really have any corrective notes, and like the most he could have done was say John Fulkerson had an off game and he needs to play better. Like, that's about it.
The only thing he said, which he says after every single game, is that he didn't say anything bad about that particular game. He just said that they need to continue to get better, continue to do it. They just need to be consistent. That's the only thing that he could gripe about. They can't let it get to their heads.
You're talking statistically. If you have a game where Admiral and Grant both have a huge game, Kyle Alexander has arguably the best game he's ever had, and then Jordan Bowden steps up and has a big, he drops in 20 points, and say if it's Jordan Bowden, if it's Lamonte Turner, any other additional player there has a big game, Tennessee could literally beat anybody. I mean, that's
back.
Yeah. And Lamonte coming back, oh boy. Except post game with Barnes about Lamonte was not as encouraging as I was hoping it would be. He kind of said Lamonte made the decision himself to come back and that they're going to continue to evaluate him. He's not. It didn't sound like he was 100% yet. I would put it that way.
Lamonte was asked after the game if he thought that he would be playing for good now, because he came back, played against Louisville, he came back and he played against Kansas, and then after that he was on the shelf for a while, and he said that he was confident as long as I do what I got to do, stay healthy. I can't predict the future, but I want to stay healthy. I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, I hope so. And he didn't seem particularly timid in that game either. He had some aggressive takes to the rim, and I really like what I saw. He dropped in 6 points. That's as close to a perfect game as Tennessee can put up, in my opinion.
53% from the field, so over half of your shots you made. You only turned the ball over 9 times. Your assist-to-turnover ratio was through the charts. You defended the three very well, I guess. I mean, Georgia shot 5% from 3.
1 of 20.
Yeah, Georgia made the same amount of threes as the Tennessee fan shot with the half-court shot there at the halftime or whatever. I mean.
No, they actually – okay, I was going to say they made more because I was thinking the second shot is from the three-point line, but that's from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Georgia made the same amount of threes as a Tennessee fan. Dominated Georgia on the boards by 15, plus 15 there. What you do if you're Rick Barnes is what all good coaches do. You go, okay, that's a perfect day. That was a great day. Can you do it again?
Mm-hmm.
Can you do it again? Can you do it again? Now it's about being consistent and doing it over a long period of time. And I'm happy. I love this basketball team. I don't care if they get national recognition. Just keep talking about Zion. Talk about Zion. Talk about Duke all day long. Cool. I like that because that way we can use that as motivation. My only concern is you don't want to peak too early. You don't want to peak too early. Got to be careful there and got to stay healthy. Can't get complacent, which I don't think is going to happen at all. But it's about challenging these dudes to do it every single day. Lamonte Turner, I thought was really funny. He said on his air ball that he had the hiccups for the last couple of days, and he hiccuped right when he shot the ball.
Sure,
like, that's weird. Like sneezing when you get ready to shoot something. The worst would be if you like pooted right before you shot the ball. That would be tough.
What would be funny is if you're at the free throw line and you're about to shoot a free throw, like you're bending down the dribble and you just
because it's quiet, especially if you're at home.
Oh yeah, it'd be rough.
Oh man.
Everybody in the gym will hear it.
You gotta delete your Twitter. You gotta go dark. You gotta go dark 30 like LeBron in the playoffs. You can't even come outside.
You'll be known as the guy that pooted on the free throw line.
Hey, it's natural. We are human. But I thought that was funny that Lamonte was comfortable enough to even mention that. I mean, the dude's comfortable in his own skin. He's a warrior. He wants to be out there. And you just got to be careful sometimes rushing yourself back too fast because not only can you hurt yourself long term, but maybe you hurt the chemistry of the basketball team. And I agree. I think who said it? I think Rick Barnes might have said it. But this team won't reach its full potential without Lamonte. And, boy, 96 points, 96 to 50, 46-point blowout.
And to top it off, in front of a sellout crowd, which the crowd was tremendous. And kudos to them for giving Lamonte Turner a standing ovation when he returned. That was as cool a moment as we've seen this season. And Lamonte said after the game that, he was aware that people were interested in when he was going to return, but he had no idea that he was going to receive a standing ovation.
That was really, really cool, that moment. And I thought it was also funny that this was the first time that anyone on a level outside of Knoxville noticed that really cool pregame light thing that Tennessee does. All the fans download an app, and if you download the app, the lights dance with the pregame. And they've been doing that for like a month.
All season.
And just now, people are finally noticing. It's been awesome the entire time. But probably the funniest thing out of all of that with that game is that pregame, there were Georgia fans that really, really believed in their heart that Georgia had a chance. And then they lost by 46.
Yeah.
I saw... I think Nate Rutherford or somebody was having a back and forth with a guy who said that the Slim Reaper was going to come in to Knoxville and take down Grant Williams.
I didn't know Kevin Durant played for Georgia.
Exactly. Who's he referring to?
Last I checked, he played for Rick Barnes.
Who are you referring to?
Now, I will say, aside from all the jokes about Georgia fans picking Georgia to beat Tennessee, the best part about Saturday was not on the court, but the fact that five-star Keon Johnson from Bell Buckle, Tennessee, the Webb School there in Middle Tennessee, was on campus for the game. He's the number 8 shooting guard in the country and the number 29 overall player in the country, so a bona fide five-star. And what's funny is that he was there amidst that great atmosphere in Thompson-Boling Arena, and then that night he went to Vanderbilt and watched Vanderbilt battle Ole Miss, in which Vanderbilt lost by 10.
Womp womp.
What a difference in environments.
And let's just say, excellent job by Kermit Davis down there in Ole Miss. That's even though Vanderbilt is shorthanded, their best player is out for the year. That's still a nice win on the road of Vandy for a team that's not particularly talented.
Yeah, and Vanderbilt's been playing much better without Darius Garland than I thought they would. And Breein Tyree, Ole Miss's guard, I think last I saw he had 27 with a couple minutes to go. I don't know what he finished with, but he might be the most. I won't even say might. He is the most improved player in the SEC to this point.
I think I would agree with that.
He was balling on Saturday night, and it's always nice to watch Vanderbilt lose.
Every time.
Vanderbilt. I got a tweet from someone. I was saying, man, Trubisky, boy, you working my nerves, man. Some of these throws. Someone sent me a gif of Jay Cutler. Why would you do that? I'm like, why would you bully me on Twitter like that? Why would you do that? I don't need to see Jay Cutler. We're good.
You got to report him.
We're good. I thought about it, man. I thought about it. 865-200-5503, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Around the SEC is coming up next.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices. And during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted. Like a new Silverado, now 25% off. A new Equinox, now 20% off. And a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include all dealer savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GM. Offer expires 8/31/18.
When you're out running around shopping for all your holiday gatherings, don't forget to grab the Mrs. Grissom's. Mrs. Grissom's salads and cheese spreads are perfect when you need a delicious, easy meal in ready-to-eat containers the whole crowd will enjoy, like the Select Old-Fashioned Pimento Cheese or Cranberry Pecan Chicken Salad or the classic Mrs. Grissom's Ham Salad. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's. Find recipe ideas and coupons at mrsgrissoms.com.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event. Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
It's 2019. Where are you going with your marketing? Where are you going with your branding? Is it time for an upgrade with your look? Is it time for an upgrade with your logo? Maybe some graphics, website? Well, 42nd Street is your go-to. 42sd.com is their website. Call Mike at 865-382-7007.
call them or go to their website to fill out their form for questions. Information there at their website to do a fantastic job of building websites from scratch. None of that template website stuff. You can have a slick, clean, great website at a great price, and they have a team that will hold your hand and walk you through every single step of the process. They specialize in print design, logo design, and custom web design. Your one-stop shop for branding. All right, Ben, going around the SEC, where are we going today?
Boy, do we have a lot to cover today. This is the most my notepad has been filled since we started this segment a couple of months ago, because so many players over the course of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday either declared for the draft, is staying, or transferring. And we'll start with Georgia because I think they have a completely new football team after all the transition that they're going through. On offense, they lost 6 players alone. Tight end Isaac Nauta declared. Wide receiver Riley Ridley declared. Wide receiver Mecole Hardman declared. Running back Elijah Holyfield declared. Quarterback Justin Fields officially transferred to Ohio State. And then 4-star tight end Luke Ford, who is a freshman, transferred back home to Illinois. They did announce that J.R. Reed, a safety, a very good safety, is returning for his senior year. And then Rodrigo Blankenship, believe it or not, the kicker, had a decision on whether or not to skip his senior year and turn pro. He decided that he will stay for his senior year. So that was all the Georgia transition that they went through over the weekend. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys deciding to leave for the draft, stay, or transfer. At Auburn, defensive tackle Derek Brown decided to stay for his senior season, which is a very surprising decision because he likely would have been a first-round pick. But it does make sense that he's coming back in a way because the defensive line class this year in the NFL draft is absolutely loaded, and he could play himself into a top 15 pick next season rather than just being a potential first-round pick this year.
True.
At Florida, you had LaMichael Pirine, running back, linebacker David Reese, defensive end Jabari Zuniga, and wide receiver Vance Jefferson. All 4 of those guys decided to return for their final season in Gainesville, so that's a nice little boost for Dan Mullen and his crew. At South Carolina, Jake Bentley decided to return for his senior season. I doubt that he would have been drafted in the first 5, 6, maybe even 7 rounds drafted at all.
Was that a question?
I mean, I guess in a way, I would not have looked at that as funky as I would have looked at Cortez Sapp declaring for the draft, but Jake Bentley, he's a big name, I guess, is the way I would look at it. So it is,
and it's a weaker,
To us he is because it's
to
SEC.
SEC fans, he's a big name.
And it's a weaker QB class than it probably will be next year.
Well, next year's class is going to be strong.
Next year's going to be strong.
No, that's what I meant to say is like this year that would have been something to consider because it's a weaker class.
Yeah, if anything, he should have declared this year because of how weak of class it is. And then Arkansas quarterback Cole Kelly decided that he is going to transfer to Southeastern Louisiana University. SEC basketball had an interesting day on Saturday. You had Alabama beat Kentucky by 2. You had Texas A&M lose to Arkansas by 2. You had South Carolina beat Florida by 2 on a Hail Mary to end the game. Wow. You had Ole Miss beat Vanderbilt by 10. And then you had Tennessee beat Georgia by 46. One is not like the other.
You said a Hail Mary. What was it?
It was 3.1 seconds left. South Carolina
did you not see this?
It was the length of the court, and they chunked it to Chris Silva, and it got over the Florida defenders. Chris Silva caught it and dunked it for the win.
Florida's defense was so unbelievably bad on that play.
So a full court pass.
Yep.
To win the game.
It looked like the Leitner, Duke beating Kentucky, except
Grant Hill to Leitner.
Except there was no defense. Chris Silva turned around and dunked the ball. It was absolutely absurd. It was really bad. I would say this, just thinking about what we're seeing from the SEC in this initial weekend. A quick touchdown turnover. Tennessee will be favored in every game for the rest of the season.
Basketball?
Yes.
Oh, they will.
I don't think they'll be favored at Auburn. Obviously, that's March.
That's the last game of the season.
It's last, and the only reason I don't think they'll be favored is because it will be on the road, and I expect Auburn to have a similar record to Tennessee.
Probably. I would agree.
That's the only one that. But Auburn can fall off the face of the planet, and Tennessee could continue the way it is playing, and Tennessee will be favorites. That's the only game that I kind of look at as maybe one that they won't be favorites.
Let's get to the phones this morning. 865-200-5503 is our telephone number to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Let's bring in Rev. Rev, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How we doing this morning?
Wonderful, wonderful, Rev. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm working, man. Been at work since 1 a.m. this morning. It's now getting down here in South Carolina. But Swain, first and foremost, buddy, I'm sorry, man. I felt the pain behind that when I had the Bears as my sneaky pick to, go to the Super Bowl. But they kind of let me down in a way too.
It hurt, man. It hurt me, man. It hurt me. But I'm good now. I'm good. The future's bright.
Oh yeah. Hey, question. Did Bone hit that Georgia player in the face with that spike?
I think he hit it the back of his neck.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
It definitely wasn't intentional, but it was hilarious.
Great play.
Another win I didn't hear you guys talk about is former Georgia basketball player J.J. Frazier. The day before the basketball game said, and I quote, and you can quote me on this per his Twitter, Georgia is going to upset Tennessee. Quote me on that. And then after the basketball game, his mentions, woo! Even the basketball players, you had Schofield and Grant Williams retweeting that comment in quotation saying, quote me on this.
Yeah.
And it got so bad that he said he was going to deactivate his Twitter.
That was hilarious. We got J.J. Frazier over the weekend. I will say J.J. Frazier is a bad boy, and he always will have probably the one up because he beat us, and he had like career days against us. But he was wrong Saturday. He was wrong, and wrong by a long shot. And he's supposed to root for his team, right? He's supposed to pick his team. He's supposed to. But they got drugged, man. It was fun to see. Fun to see.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, enjoy the show, guys. I'm going to listen for the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll give you guys a call back later this week.
All right, thanks, man. Tommy from Cookville. Hey, guys, which do you think was the worst loss? The Vols 2017 loss to Georgia or Georgia's loss Saturday to the Tennessee Baller Vols?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because both teams that lost quit. Tennessee quit.
City quit against Georgia.
In 2017? When they lost
17.
Yeah, not this past year.
Oh.
The year before.
Nikes.
41-0. At home in Neyland Stadium.
I think that one's worse because it's at home.
Yeah, I think I got to go with 2017 because
me too. Peyton was in the house,
and I would probably
Peyton was in the house. You can't play like that in front of Peyton.
I might say Georgia's basketball loss was worse because Georgia really thought they were going to win, but I remember before that 2017 game, I think Tennessee was like, "Oh, we have a real chance here. It's in Neyland Stadium. It could happen."
That was the fight. Remember, that was the fight that occurred
41-0
right before that.
Yep.
Remember. The
fell
in the helmet.
Oh,
I
remember.
That was right before the fell in the helmet situation.
Yes.
So yeah, infighting, and Peyton was in the house, and you played that way at home.
And it wasn't your first season in Knoxville, whereas it is Tom Crean's first basketball team at Georgia.
Yeah. And the SEC crew was in Knoxville for that game. So, 2017 Georgia loss for the football team, to me, is 10 times worse. I think we all agree across the board. All right, we got Attaboy coming up next.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Today looks to be partly sunny with a high of 63 and a low of 49. There is a 20% chance of rain tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 60 and a low around 35. Wednesday looks to be sunny with a high in the low 40s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com.
Gentlemen, when it comes to taking care of your health, sometimes the first step is the hardest. Low T Center is making it easier to take that first step. It all starts with knowing the numbers that are essential to a man. Testosterone levels, blood pressure, cholesterol, prostate, and thyroid. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to get all these levels checked and more. Low T Center specializes in men's health and has expanded their services, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, hypertension, severe allergies, high cholesterol, diabetes, and annual physicals, along with testosterone replacement therapy. The physicians at Low T Center not only want to help you feel good again, they want to help you prevent any serious health problems moving forward. Now, with the holistic approach to your overall health and wellness, Low T Center is making it more convenient for men to take care of their health, and most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify for you. Take the first step for your health and call 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388, or go to lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare.
Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain Event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
It's almost football time in Tennessee, which means it's time to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Tommy Bahama, and all those retro logos you love. Don't forget about your game day crew. Plenty of selection for the ladies, the little balls, and to upgrade their tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com.
If you're among the 40% of obese American adults, you know that diet and exercise doesn't always work. The National Institute of Health recognizes bariatric surgery as the most effective, long-term treatment for severe obesity. Premier Surgical's 2 bariatric offices, Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons and New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery, have helped thousands of East Tennesseans change their lives and health. Weight loss surgery has been shown to improve or resolve many obesity-related conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and sleep apnea. To learn if bariatric surgery is right for you, attend one of the free seminars offered each month by New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery at Tenova Turkey Creek or Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons at Fort Sanders Regional. Visit our bariatric surgery page at premiersurgical.com for more information. Premier Surgical, expertise you can trust.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Hoes, remind yourself, nobody built like you design yourself.
Attaboy.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com. Welcome back to the show here this morning, 8:50 a.m., 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports. 865-250-5503 is our telephone number. It is time for Attaboy, where we highlight positivity, and I'm going to give one Attaboy before the top of the hour, and then we'll get to the phones. But this Attaboy, it's an Attaboy and an Attagirl, and it goes to Jordan Allen and his mother. I'm going to go on Saturday Down South for this one. It says, after one season on Rocky Top, California native Jordan Allen began to suffer from homesickness. His mother has had some health issues there, and his name was in the transfer portal. Name was in the transfer portal. He was about to leave. He was about to get out of town. But mom posted this. Last few months, I've been through a lot of changes, despite all the surgeries, treatments, and etc. I was really stressed out about the one person that has been in a stable position. And as a single parent, you have to play tough guy and nurture. On one hand, I wanted to be at all of the games, so when Jordy walked off that field without playing as much as he anticipated, I could be there. And when he told me he wanted to be closer, in parentheses, transferred in the spring, I had to say, hell no. You have to compete. Go harder, get stronger. This will prepare you for all of the competition at the next level. If you can't knock these dudes, what are you going to do about the NFL Combine? Anyways, I've been so stressed about it. And the lesson I got from this is we can't stress out because whatever is going to happen or is meant to happen will happen. With that being said, here's a great article that we released to Twitter. 2009 will be greater. 2020 will be the year for sure. Mama ain't raised no punk. Back to Tennessee, it is.
So great.
This is a great, great moment. Not to say that if you transfer, you a punk or you shouldn't transfer, but Jordan Allen has been so far. He's come a long way. And Mama probably wants to see his son. Mama knows that being in a stable environment is the best for him. So just to add a boy to this whole situation, add a girl. Let's get to the phones, and let's get to...
We got Cameron.
Cameron, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I was calling this morning just because I was thinking I didn't realize how close it was till the dead period was being over, and as much emphasis and as much of a priority as Coach Pruitt makes recruiting. I was going to see what your opinion would be if he doesn't make the OC hire by the 10th. Do you think he will wait until after National Signing Day?
Man, that's a really good question. I look at this class, and this class is done except for about 4 spots, maybe 5, depending on the type of caliber of player you're going to get. And so any staff changes that are made, typically you do that because you make decisions either before signing day or afterwards because you don't want to affect recruiting. Well, I don't think there's a staff change that's going to affect this class. These guys are here. I don't think defense coordinator is going anywhere. Pruitt has recruited well without offense coordinator, so they'll still be able to go out there and recruit offensive players. I don't think not having a coordinator helped Jaden Hazelwood come in here, but I thought he was always going to Oklahoma anyways. That's hard to say when this is going to happen. I can see this thing happening today. I can see it happening in a week. We are 3 weeks away from National Signing Day. I don't see a reason why it should drag out that long. You have talked to T. Martin. T. Martin ain't gonna wait for Tennessee, and T. Martin shouldn't wait for Tennessee.
I mean, we do have a fresh prediction for media. Remember, we had 95% before. Now, one of our media compatriots says he believes it will be done within the week.
And
so that's one prediction that's not ours. But
I agree with Jimmy Himes more.
That'd be Jimmy Himes, yeah.
Agree with the 95% thing. If you didn't read Jimmy Himes' article, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And so I would believe him more than I would believe some 95% talk. And there's no reason for this thing to drag out to National Signing Day, in my opinion. You have the National Championship game that's going to take place today. What's going to happen with Josh Gaddis? Does T. Martin get called to Alabama? T. Martin has opportunities out there. But we'll finish the conversation hour 2.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain Event.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
I'll know what's in Federal Credit Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal. You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Let's go to TC in Athens here on the B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. TC, good morning.
What's up, Swando?
What's up, man? Let us know what's going down there in Athens, Georgia, TC. I know you got all the scoop.
Well, man, I was a little more concerned about what was happening in Knoxville this morning after the beating that Ball Hoops put on those yipping Chihuahuas. I was a little nervous that the PETA people were going to be down there surrounding the basketball complex.
I'm sure they're going to be here. I'm sure, because it was an absolute beat down. What was funny is Smokey dressing up as Bevo and messing with the Georgia mascot. You can't beat that, can you?
That was good stuff, man. That was creative. That was awesome. Oh my God! I wish people down here in Athens, though, I wish they knew they even had a basketball team.
I'm sure they don't.
So I could talk a little trash, but nobody here even knows.
Probably not even bothered.
Dude, it's crazy, man. But yeah, man, I can have Cheney up there for lunch by noon, or around noon, and then we could head on over to the complex for the press conference by 1.
I would love that, man. I think Pruitt has always liked Jim Cheney. I think Pruitt and Cheney have talked. There's going to be some people that Pruitt will talk to and have talked to that no one's going to know about. Pruitt prefers no one to know anything. But I think what he's finding out as a head coach, you can't prevent that all the time from happening. Cheney has to be careful because Cheney's in a sweet spot. He's in a really sweet spot, making $950,000. He gets to coach at a place where they are drafting talent, but he's underappreciated for sure, and his contract is expired. I haven't heard anything about a new deal coming at all. Maybe that's something that's going to happen. Why not keep that thing really, really, really quiet if you Pruitt and Cheney? Because Cheney doesn't want to jeopardize a sweet spot that he's already in. I think Jim Cheney will be valued here a whole lot more. Pruitt would hurt Georgia by taking away Jim Cheney because we know how much him and Sam Pittman, they're boys. Alabama lost their offensive line coach. Alabama made a run at Sam Pittman before, and Pittman turned it down. If I'm Alabama, I'm making another run at Sam Pittman. And I would rather Alabama have Sam Pittman than Georgia, to be honest.
Does it surprise you, all the guys for Georgia that are declaring for the draft? I mean, they're losing a ton of guys because really I thought, next year is their year to really make a run at the national championship. But with all the guys that they're losing, man, that really I don't know if they're going to have. I know they've been getting talent year after year, but boy, that's a lot of leadership talent that they're losing as well.
I'm surprised. Actually, I'm not surprised, TC, because the amount of people declaring around the country. I mean, I think kids are figuring out that you can if you make a roster, you can make money. You can do it. There's a lot of undrafted free agents. There are a lot of guys who are not drafted high, make teams. You play in the SEC. You're ready. When you play the SEC at a high level, you're ready for the NFL. And I think guys are willing to take that chance without getting hurt. Now, I think Miko should have stayed because he can develop as a wide receiver, has suspect hands, still learning the position. Remember, he was an athlete coming out of high school. I think Nada is ready.
That dude, that's a grown man.
Yeah, I think he's ready. I think really could have used another year, to be honest. I think Holyfield made the right decision being a running back, knowing that your shelf life is really short. So some of the guys I'm surprised on, some of them I'm not.
Yeah, I guess just overall, I was a little surprised that many just with the opportunity that those guys had to really have a really special season next year.
Yeah, I mean they have a lot of talent coming in. There'll be some young talent. They lost 6 players from that program, and I think that is stronger than them losing a couple guys to the league. I mean, to lose Justin Fields in the way they did. Now, Fromm is the guy. There's no doubt about that. But Kirby went out, tried to get the best player in the state of Georgia, one of the best players in the country, and Justin Fields, and it blew up in his face. It absolutely blew up in his face. It might have cost him a chance to play for a national championship this year.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, man, love you guys. Love the show, brother. Keep it up.
Thank you, man. Hey, if we hire Chaney, I'll be giving you a call, man. I'll be giving you a call, TC. Don't get any tickets on your way up here, because you know the GA patrol will stop TC and make it difficult for him. You might have to intervene.
On Georgia and all of their departures, I will say they have a replacement for just about everybody. They're bringing in a 5-star receiver, Dominic Blaylock, and if you watch the Army All-American game, that kid absolutely torched the opposing defense. I imagine he will play early, and then they are bringing in a tight end that is ranked inside the top 200. They're bringing in a running back that's ranked inside the top 200. So I'm not saying Georgia is at Alabama's level, but Georgia is at the point where, although they're young, they do have talent to replace the guys that they're losing. And they didn't lose a lot of guys on defense. In fact, they had J.R. Reed return, who is a big-time defensive back, and then they add Nolan Smith and N'Kobe Dean. Those are big-time recruits.
This really is where the rubber meets the road, truly, for Kirby Smart, though. This team's going to be good. I think you can say that with the players that they have. But I think it's still very much up in the air if he can truly make them consistently elite. Because I think he's shown that he's not world's best in-game coach.
No.
And so I think that's the question that's up in the air for Georgia right now. But, yeah, like I said, they're going to be good. You can't not be with that kind of talent. But can he truly take them to that next level?
If Georgia's going to consistently win, the quarterback that they have behind Jake Fromm, whether he's there on campus now or they're going to get him in this year's class, he has to be the guy. Because if he's not, they're going to drop off.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Fromm is important, very important. And that's the difference between Georgia having a chance to win championship and LSU, who's been sputtering for all these years with the great defense and talent. They haven't had a quarterback. Jake Fromm is the key to that Georgia football program, and they better get ready for Jake Fromm, life after Jake Fromm, because I think if they don't, they're going to fall off. Even with that talent, you got to have a quarterback who has the leadership skills, who's poised, who can win on the road, and can throw from the pocket. That's going to be the key. And they lost Justin Fields. Who are they going to replace that backup with?
And that scares me because who's one of the top quarterbacks out of the state of Georgia in the 2020 class?
You mean the guy who's committed to Tennessee?
Yep, Harrison Bailey. I'm not saying Harrison Bailey is going to flip or anything, but I imagine at some point Georgia may put the full court press on Mr. Bailey.
I'm good. Derek Tinsley got us. We good.
That's fine.
We good.
We'll see what happens when it all shakes out.
Derek Tinsley blocked that. We good. All right, let's get back to the phones this morning. 865-255-03. Let's get to Daniel. Daniel, good morning.
Hey, how you doing today? I had a question. I watched the game Saturday, and when Chris Bogle done his commitment, he didn't seem too sure. They was talking about he might have switched before he picked up hats. Do you think he is solid with Alabama, or do you think he might, before signing day, flip?
Chris Bogle's been all over the place this whole entire time. He loved Tennessee so much that he wanted to commit it several times here. He loved Miami that several times he wanted to commit. For Chris Bogle, it's not over until the ink dries on the paper for me. Tennessee still needs a linebacker. They still need another offensive lineman. They still need a defensive tackle. I think if a player like Chris Bogle were to decide to come to Tennessee, I think Tennessee will figure it out and try to take 4, 5, whatever, because you're still trying to talk to George Pickens. You got to take the best available. To go back to answering your question, just flat out, Chris Bogle, when he signs, that's when I believe it. I guess that's the question.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll add this on Chris Bogle. I told you this before the show. I was listening to Barton Simmons' podcast that he does.
He's the best.
For 24/7. He was on the NBC broadcast breaking down each recruit and kind of breaking down each team's recruiting class. And he said with the Chris Bogle situation that the night before, Friday night, the night before the Army All-American game, Chris Bogle was sounding like Miami. And then the morning of the Army All-American game, he told the NBC broadcast team that he was picking Tennessee. That was the morning of the Army All-American game that he told the NBC broadcast team that he was picking Tennessee. And then a couple hours later, he picked Alabama. And as Daniel said, it didn't seem like he was too confident in his decision. So, again, I don't think that's over until National Signing Day.
This is no shot at the player at all, but I just can't imagine going through the recruiting process and in January not knowing where you want to go, because the recruiting process now starts a whole lot earlier. That's why they implemented the early signing period. You're recruited like a senior when you're a junior. I mean, there's people that already know where they're going as juniors because they've been so they're so familiar with each program. We're talking about 3 different schools for Chris Bogle. I'm just surprised he just doesn't know where he wants to go at this point.
To me, that tells me that he maybe didn't take his recruitment seriously at the beginning.
Well, and he's definitely been a guy who, on social media, he's been one of those like, oh, I need retweets from Tennessee fans. He's an attention seeker.
He's enjoying the process. Yep, he's enjoying the process, which it's okay. You can win with those guys.
Yeah,
you still
absolutely.
Can win. Everybody's different. Everyone has different personalities. As long as they buy in when they get here and you have strong leadership, you can win with all types of different personalities. So I want people to have this notion that you only can win with a whole team of unselfish guys. They're selfish guys. You think about yourself too. You think about yourself, your future. It's cool. You just can't let it overtake the team concept. We'll see what happens with Chris Bogle. I'll believe it when he signs. I believe when I see it when he signs. But for right now, he's been all over the place, and it may be another change. Let's get to Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, individuals. Great weekend, by the way. Vols put a beat down on Georgia, and I'm kind of enjoying being this basketball school and turning it up on them and not leaving no doubt. My question for the day is this. Chaney, what kind of a relationship, or you probably don't know this, but I was wondering this, what kind of relationship does he have with Fields, do you think? And do you think that he could be an influence in, if Chaney left Georgia to go to another school, you think he could be an influence in Fields going playing for him?
Phil's already enrolled at Ohio State.
Has he already?
Yeah,
I didn't think it's already done.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a done deal.
Yeah, he's already to Ohio State, and
okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a done deal.
Yeah, he's Ohio State. So,
well, okay, that voids and that's my that plane's landed, guys. I'll get out of here.
All right, see you, man.
Yeah, that happened kind of quick, and there wasn't as much talk about it as I thought there would be. I guess it happened late Friday afternoon. So there's talk about it early in the day that Bruce Feldman reported that he had heard about it, but it wasn't official that Justin Fields was on Ohio State's campus trying to make it his final decision.
I mean, Justin Fields dressed out in the bowl game, didn't play, but a week before that, people were talking about him going to Ohio State. I mean, even before his name was in the transfer portal. I mean, that was the likely destination for him. Hey, I think it's a good move for him, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's a selection that makes a lot of sense.
Makes a ton of sense
to me. That your head coach is an offensive guy. They have a slot more or less open for you. You will have competition, but their quarterback's on the way out. Makes tons of sense.
Prediction time. You ready?
Sure.
2020 Heisman winner.
2020 Heisman winner.
Because he's going to have to sit out this year. In which I would pick Tua. I think Tua is going to win it next year regardless because
2020 Heisman winner.
Harrison Bailey.
As a freshman, the first true freshman ever.
Exactly.
I mean, I think he'll have a clear path to winning it.
With all those weapons, that schedule, Ryan Day is your coach.
Yeah.
Greg Schiano, also just being a good leader for you on that same staff.
A leader of men.
A great developer of men.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Oh, man. We'll try to knock out touchdown turnover. Come back from break. Everyone wants to know about Chaney. I want to discuss like the best scenario for Jeremy Pruitt at offensive coordinator and this offensive staff. What is the best case scenario with everything that we know, people that he's talked to? The best case scenario today, moving forward for this offensive staff. We will discuss that coming up next. Swain Event.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Gentlemen, when it comes to taking care of your health, sometimes the first step is the hardest. Low T Center is making it easier to take that first step. It all starts with knowing the numbers that are essential to a man. Testosterone levels, blood pressure, cholesterol, prostate, and thyroid. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to get all these levels checked and more. Low T Center specializes in men's health and has expanded their services, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, hypertension, severe allergies, high cholesterol, diabetes, and annual physicals, along with testosterone replacement therapy. The physicians at Low T Center not only want to help you feel good again, they want to help you prevent any serious health problems moving forward. Now, with the holistic approach to your overall health and wellness, Low T Center is making it more convenient for men to take care of their health, and most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify for you. Take the first step for your health and call 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388, or go to lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices. And during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted. Like a new Silverado, now 25% off. A new Equinox, now 20% off. And a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include all dealer savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GM. Offer expires 8/31/18.
When you're out running around shopping for all your holiday gatherings, don't forget to grab the Mrs. Grissom's. Mrs. Grissom's salads and cheese spreads are perfect when you need a delicious, easy meal and ready-to-eat containers the whole crowd will enjoy, like the Select Old-Fashioned Pimento Cheese or Cranberry Pecan Chicken Salad or the classic Mrs. Grissom's Ham Salad. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's. Find recipe ideas and coupons at mrsgrissoms.com.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown Turnover backed by Alcoa Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. Better rates and better service. Tennessee will have a staff change, not just an offensive coordinator being hired, but there will be a staff change as far as an assistant coach leaving. Touchdown or turnover? Do we feel like a staff member will leave?
I'll say touchdown. Just there's been too much smoke around this co-OC thing, or bringing in more than just a guy like Jim Chaney. And to me, that signals that maybe there's already some thought that Chris Winkie goes and gets another job. Maybe David Johnson goes and tries to find another job or move him around or something of that nature. You still have essentially 3 defensive back coaches in Charles Kelly, Jeremy Pruitt, and Terry Fair. Obviously, Jeremy Pruitt isn't going anywhere. The way Charles Kelly is recruiting, I doubt he's going anywhere. Does Terry Fair still remain on staff? So I think there's a lot of different situations that could result in more staff change-ups. So I'll say touchdown.
I say touchdown also, and for all the reasons that Ben said. I also look at Chris Winkie as someone who I could see looking for a different opportunity. But I just think that, again, as Ben said, there's just been too much talk about these kind of staff moves and wanting to make room for different people, that I think something like that will come down the pike before all of this is settled, whenever that might be. August, I don't know.
I think you've heard this so many times. You make your greatest improvement from your freshman year to your sophomore year. You make your greatest improvement from the first game to the second game. Well, who to say that does not apply to Jeremy Pruitt, who's entering his second year as the head coach? I think when you look at this staff and the way he was put together, defense that has some really good recruiters. They have a lot of numbers on defense. With the head coach being as great as he is as a defensive mind, I was a little surprised that there were so many numbers on defense. You mentioned it being 2 guys coaching the secondary. You got 2 guys kind of coaching the parts of the line there. I think Pruitt has a chance to bring in a lethal combination. And it's going to take for some staff moves to happen for him to do that. And the lethal combination I'm talking about is he has a chance to possibly bring in Steve Sarkisian with T. Martin, or T. Martin with someone else, Chaney, or T. Martin with somebody else. He has a chance to do that. He has a chance. And if you have that opportunity, you can't pass that up. T. Martin's one of the best recruiters in the country. He is well known in Atlanta. You're trying to compete with Georgia. You're trying to flip this roster over. You have to recruit balls to the wall. And if you can add T. Martin to the staff, that's something you got to do. You got to do. Now, T is not in the same position as he was a year ago. Remember, he led an offense. He was coordinating for an offense that had a first-round quarterback. His name was hot at the time. He had better options than now. Well, things have changed a little bit. He is not with a job. He does have a great buyout situation, and he has great opportunities. He's not desperate. He doesn't really need to come to Tennessee. But I think for him to ultimately be a head coach, I don't think Louisville's the best option for him. Maryland under Mike Locksley, if he's able to be the offensive coordinator, I don't know. But it's why I said that this little period between the 6th and the 9th is so important, because what's going to happen with Josh Gaddis? Josh Gaddis is the wide receiver coach at Alabama. Mike Locksley loves Josh Gaddis. Nick Saban loves Josh Gaddis. Alabama already has an offense coordinator that's going to be named and move to the offense coordinator position next year, and that is Dan Enos. Does Josh Gaddis stay at Alabama, or does he go to Maryland to be the offense coordinator for Mike Locksley. Josh Gaddis is a future head coach. Where does he go? If Josh Gaddis goes to Maryland, who do you think Nick Saban's probably going to call? Take a guess. T. Martin probably. If Josh Gaddis stays at Alabama, there's a chance maybe T. Martin goes to Maryland. Mike Locksley gave T. Martin his first opportunity at New Mexico, so there's a tie. So if I'm Pruitt, man, I'm not waiting too long after this national championship game. I think Josh Gaddis is the key. What does he do? Alabama plays tonight. What does he do? Does he leave to go to Maryland? I think T would prefer if both situations were even. If T is getting offered the proper amount of money that he deserves to be an assistant coach here, bringing in his recruiting prowess, his ability to develop the wide receiver position, you better pay him what he's worth. If he has that opportunity and he has Alabama with the same amount of money, I honestly think he would pick Tennessee. I think he would. If the situation was even, okay, as far as the money and the title and all that stuff as a co-offense coordinator, I think he would. T with a Chaney, T with a Sarkisian, that's a lethal combination. Now everyone wants to know about Sam Pittman. I just don't know if that's going to happen unless you have two offensive staff members leave. You bring in a co-coordinator situation, and then you move Will Friend to running backs. That's the only way I see that happening. And I think it could work out. I think Will Friend could coach running backs. I think he can absolutely do it. I think it can work out. You don't have to be a phenomenal running back whisperer to coach running backs. It's not that hard. Go recruit some dudes, tell them a few things, tell them where to go, tell them their protections, their assignments, things like that, and let them go be great. But I'm gonna say touchdown. I think there's gonna be some movement with the staff, and I think just watching this staff and watching year one, I think that extra number that was on defense, I think it need to go on offense.
Before we get to Vol Nation, there's a lot of talk that Sam Pittman and Jim Chaney are attached at the hip. They are a package deal. In your opinion, or maybe what you know for fact, what percentage is Sam Pittman attached to Jim Chaney at the hip in terms of being a package deal going somewhere else?
Well, in the past, they've been attached to the hip. I don't know if they will continue to be moving forward. If I'm Kirby Smart, I mean, I signed Chaney to an extension because y'all are not losing because of Chaney. Y'all losing because of you. You are the reason why you didn't win a national championship. You are the reason why you didn't win an SEC championship in this past season. So Chaney's not the problem. I'm sorry. If I'm Kirby, I keep Chaney. I think it's going to be hard for those two guys to be attached at the hip moving forward. I think Alabama's going to make it really difficult for Sam Pittman. At least I would if I'm Nick Saban. You've already reached out to him once. There's going to have to be a move made if those guys come to Tennessee because Sam Pittman ain't coaching another position. Sam Pittman is the best the best offensive line coach in the country. He's going to be coaching offensive line if that move were to be made. I have not heard anything about that move being made with those two. In case you're just tuning in and you're just now catching this conversation, I have not heard anything about those two being a package deal to Tennessee. But I don't have a percentage for you, Ben. I don't, because I don't know that at all. If there's been any conversations about them coming in together.
What I would ask more in this situation, if and like you said, our knowledge around Chaney and Pruitt right now, we haven't heard much of anything. So that's the baseline. But what I would ask, if Chaney does become a realistic option, how attached at the hip are Pruitt and Will Friend? Because, frankly, if you have an opportunity to get Sam Pittman,
But you don't need to
Will
fire.
Will Friend could be good,
But,
but Sam Pittman's the best. Those
but you don't need to fire. You don't need to fire.
No, you don't.
Will
You definitely don't. But if you have an opportunity to get Sam Pittman, I mean, he's the best OL coach in America, probably.
Yeah, but you're not gonna fire Will Friend. You're gonna move him if you have a chance to get Sam Pittman.
Yes, but and so my question would be, what in that theoretical situation? What do you do with him? That's what I would
move him to running backs, or you can put him in off the field role, make him assistant to the head coach, something like that. You're not moving Will Friend from off the staff. Will Friend was very important to Jeremy Pruitt. Will Friend was one of the best offensive coordinators outside the Power Five when he was at Colorado State. He's a good offensive coordinator. He's a good offensive mind. So he is very beneficial. People who don't know what they're talking about automatically assume, they're just friends. This ain't Butch Jones and Chico. This ain't Butch Jones and Mike Canales. Like, Will Friend's a good football coach, and he's a former offensive coordinator that put up some big points at Colorado State, who worked for a really good coach in Mike Bobo. So this whole notion that Will Friend is not good, that he's just here because he's best friends with Pruitt, is pretty much hogwash right now. Like, he has value. But if you have a chance to bring in a Sam Pittman, you got to bring in Sam Pittman to coach line, and then you move Will Friend to running back. So that's what I would do.
And I should have clarified there. Tennessee has no reason at this point to get rid of Will Friend at all. He just makes, for an OL coach, an exorbitant amount of money, and you would have to do something with him if you had the opportunity to get Sam Pittman. And like you said, you don't want to use him or lose him. I mean, he's a useful asset at this point. But that would create a really interesting situation. But again, completely hypothetical. We'll see where this goes.
All I know is that if T. Martin coaches at Alabama, I'm giving up on college football for forever.
Please no.
If I see T. Martin wearing that ugly, god-awful, just horrid red, whatever. I'm so angry at Alabama, envisioning them. I can't even think of their distinct color.
Crimson.
Crimson, thank you. If I have to see T. Martin in crimson, I will lose my mind. I'm giving up on college football forever. I will be the one out here pushing Tennessee to be a permanent college basketball school. I can't deal with T. Martin and crimson.
You know, so it hurt to see Jay Graham and other SEC teams' colors, but T. Martin would be, that would be on another level, especially Alabama.
It don't bother me to see Jay in like A&M gear, but to see T, who's from Alabama, be in Alabama gear, that would bother me too. That would bother me. But I'm telling you, Josh Gaddis is the key right there. What happens to him? And T has some opportunities out there. Again, T, Martin talk, from what I know, hasn't been about him being the offensive coordinator. It's been him coming in as an assistant coach and having a co-offensive coordinator title and being able to help with the play calling too. That is a scenario that I have understood it to be right now.
And I bet things will heat up here quickly after tonight, because if you follow T. Martin on Instagram or even Twitter, he has been gung-ho about Amari Rodgers, obviously his son, playing in the national championship game, which has been really cool to see. They're out in the Bay Area right now.
Santa Clara.
They've been with him all weekend. So I imagine after tonight, at the conclusion of Amari's game, things are going to heat up with T over this week.
You know what I thought was funny over this weekend? We passed the exact date when Tennessee won a national championship in 1998, and T. Martin tweeted something about it. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like, "Oh, it's great to see this, go Vols," something like that. And I want to say 2 different people tweeted me, and they were like, "Does this mean? Is he just talking about the 20th anniversary, or should we think that he's interested in the Tennessee job?" Folks they want to read every single tea leaf.
20th anniversary now.
He was just talking about the 20th anniversary. Don't think about it too much.
If he was still the offensive coordinator at USC, he would have tweeted the exact same thing.
Yep.
Let's get to Vol Nation. Vol Nation, good morning.
Morning, family. How y'all doing, man?
Man, great. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Just listening in. Good show as usual. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think bringing in right now, I think it would be awesome as a home run for Chaney and T to come in. Maybe Sark and T, but definitely Chaney and you move a couple people on defense. I would take the IMG connection and put him as an analyst, and I'd definitely bring in Pittman, if I could, because I think with Pittman and then with doing the offensive line, and then Will doing the running backs, and then of course having Chaney, and T being a recruiting machine, maybe a coordinator there, of course, working with the quarterbacks and learning from Chaney. I think you could probably eventually, possibly, see T in 3, because I know Chaney's not going to want to coach forever. You know what I'm saying? And he could groom T to become a great offensive coordinator, and he could be learning also to be a head football coach at the same time. I think just being around excellent people, high caliber people, you learn a lot. And him being from, this area or from Tennessee and playing in Tennessee and all that, just having a heart for as a volunteer, I think it would groom him nicely to be in that position, to learn in all facets of the game. And like I said, one day look at being a head coach. The other thing I wanted to just share briefly was the basketball team getting back on the other side of the house. The basketball team, man, I told you guys when it first started that I saw something special in this team, and everybody was hyping up Duke, and everybody was talking about all these other teams, and I said this team right here will be better in the second half of the season than the first. But I said they're building something special, and I said those two people of Grant Williams and the Admiral, that's a special commodity to have on your program. And what I'm seeing now is what you guys are seeing, when we saw him play Georgia on Saturday, the confidence, the chemistry, the shot selection, interior passing, team defense, the defense rotations, ball handling, on-the-ball defense, three-point closeouts. All those things, every aspect of execution has becoming more and more fluid, more natural, more instinctive, and it's beautiful basketball to watch.
Yes.
And this is where, like what you've been harping on for the past week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, that they're the best team in America. I truly believe that. And they're kind of flying a little bit under the radar. I think people are just not ready to crown them because they're not necessarily blue blood in basketball. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep the ratings up and they want to keep Duke out there. But I told y'all weeks ago, Duke's not ready for this team right here. They're
I
not
don't
ready.
think so.
And
I don't think so.
I think Tennessee can handle anybody in the top 10 right now, anyone in the country. But I truly believe that they're just getting better. And with Lamonte Turner coming back, I think you're having him an opportunity to kind of get back into the flow of the offense and getting kind of his groove back and all that. Watching them do the rotations and things of that nature, this is a lethal team, and they are deep. They're deep, kind of like when the Warriors were, being successful. A part of it is because of their bench. You know what I'm saying? They can rest guys, they can pull guys off the bench, and you don't have a huge drop off. You know what I'm saying? And of course, it's hard to replace Admiral and of course Grant. But I'm just saying, overall, they have a really good bench. And with Bowden coming out there, and then of course, you got Bone. Jordan Bone is, I think, the best guard in the SEC and one of the top probably 5 in the country. He is running the show, and he is taking charge of that team. And I think what Barnes, the only thing he could do right now is continue to work on that chemistry, continue to work on his rotations and things of that nature, and allowing guys to get better each week. But he can break down individual play. And I think everybody understands that when you go to the film room, you're looking at what you're doing. Even the grace of Admiral, when he was posted down in the paint, I think in the second half or second part of the first half, I can't remember how many minutes ago, guy posted him. And, they were doing the entry pass in, and, instead of just playing up straight up defense and making his shot difficult, he tried to reach over the back. He was a little bit overly aggressive. And people may think, oh, that's not a big deal. But, in a closer game against Kansas or against somebody else, later on, as you get into the tournament, those fouls add up. And you don't want to do stupid stuff, you know what I'm saying, and help the other team out. So, and then, of course, you look at Alexander, and he does great with his fadeaways in the middle. When he catches in the center, he does a little fadeaway turnaround jumper. But when he gets ready to do his post moves, it's a little different.
His money turned to his right shoulder, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, he might need to his in the box. He may need a little bit of work because he went straight up on one guy, got his stuff ejected.
Oh yeah, that hook, that Scott Hook, he not real. And thanks for the phone call, Vol. And that Scott Hook, and they said during the broadcast, he's not as comfortable as he is turning off his right shoulder and hitting that jumper. Think about this. This Tennessee basketball team has had 5 guys on separate occasions go for, I want to say 20 points, but I can't because Kyle didn't hit that. He hit that free throw, so he didn't score 20 points in that game against Sanford. But they've had 5 dudes on separate occasions goes for 19-plus points on any given night. Jordan Bone, we know Admiral, we know Grant. Jordan Ballin hit 20 against Georgia. Like, these guys, this team is deep.
And if Lamonte Turner was healthy, he would have had 20 points by now.
Yeah. So, right now, I think Tennessee would beat Duke. There's no doubt about it. I think Tennessee's the best team right now. But basketball season is so great because it's not about right now. It's about playing your best in the tournament in March. Yeah. That's when it's the most important. But right now, I think this team is the best team in the country.
Yeah, I watched Michigan play Indiana yesterday because Michigan, number 2 team, ahead of the Vols. And I'll say this, Michigan doesn't have a dude that can handle Admiral or Grant Williams. I mean, they just don't have that presence down low. Now they have Jordan Poole up top, who's probably better than any guard Tennessee has. But at the same time, I mean, you just look, that's the number 2 team in America. And I think Tennessee would probably be favored over them if they played this week. It's all happening for that team, and they just got to capitalize at the right time. That's about the bottom line.
865-255-03. Stay with us.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
Today looks to be partly sunny with a high of 63 and a low of 49. There is a 20% chance of rain tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 60 and a low around 35. Wednesday looks to be sunny with a high in the low 40s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain Event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give Be Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, Be Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. Be Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call Be Dry. Reach out to Be Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call Be Dry.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team. We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Dan Mullen posing awkwardly with recruits.
For what?
Gators working out wearing costumes.
For what?
Vanderbilt making a sorority-style video.
For what?
Aaron Murray and David Pollock opening their mouths.
For what?
It's time for what? Well, we highlight some questionable decision-making, questionable decisions over the weekend. We do that on Mondays. And Ben, you're for what? We're going to go down to the state of Alabama, right?
We are. We are going to technically Troy, Alabama, but the for what goes to the Alabama High School Athletic Association, specifically Steve Savarsi, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He has ruled Maori Davenport ineligible for her senior season despite a clerical error that was not her fault. She played for USA Basketball, I believe, over the summer, and if you play for USA Basketball, you receive a stipend unless you are a high school player, I believe, and USA Basketball mistakenly sent Maori Davenport a check for $850, and she used the money thinking that she was allowed to, and then when she realized that she wasn't, she repaid the money, sent it back to USA Basketball. USA Basketball came out and said it was an error on their part, and the Alabama High School Athletic Association and Steve Savarsi still ruled her ineligible. Jay Billis went completely in on the situation during the Alabama-Kentucky game, and he explains it a whole lot better than I did. So here's Jay Billis on the situation.
Basketball situation, an eligibility situation affecting a young woman who is a high school senior, one of the top high school seniors in the country. Maori Davenport out of Troy, Alabama, plays at Charles Henderson High, has been ruled ineligible for her senior season. Jay, tell us why and what's going on in this story.
Well, it's really a travesty. She was ruled ineligible by the Alabama High School Athletic Association, and it's not just that. It was the sole decision of the executive director, Steve Savarese, and it was all over a check that she received from USA Basketball. She played on the USA Basketball U18 international team. They played in Mexico City, won a gold medal, played for her country. All the players get a stipend check. It was $850 and change. And USA Basketball always checks with each high school association, but there are only a couple of high school players on the team. It slipped through the cracks. It was an administrative error, a clerical error. And she received the check, and then the high school association saying, nope, your amateur status is now gone. And as soon as USA Basketball found the error, they notified the high school. The athletic association, the Alabama Athletic Association, was notified, and she sent the money back. No big deal, right? Not for the Alabama High School Athletic Association. I mean, there is one person standing in the way, and that's the executive director, Steve Savarese. And he refuses to rescind this ruling. Rulings in the past have been rescinded, although there has never been anything like this in the history of the Alabama Athletic Association. They've never had a case like this. Steve Savarese admitted that to me when I spoke to him on Friday. They've never had a case anywhere near like this. But in other eligibility cases, they have rescinded rulings that they've made, and they need to rescind this one. This is a travesty, and it is wrong. Maori Davenport did absolutely nothing wrong. She should be allowed to play.
Sad, man. Just sad. Can't play your senior year. You work your tail off your entire life to have an opportunity to represent your country.
and display your talents across the world. And it's not your fault. They send you money. You didn't know. How is she supposed to know? I mean, colleges pay millions of dollars for a compliance department to prevent things like this from happening. But you expect a teenage girl and her parents to know what they can and cannot do in this situation when it was said that it wasn't their fault and the U.S. basketball made the mistake. Then they give the money back and you still keep her out? I mean, the NCAA is ridiculous when it comes to stuff like this. And I expect that from them. I don't expect that from a former high school coach. This is a former high school coach who coached at McGill-Tulane, who coached at Daphne, who coached at Ben Russell. I mean, this dude is a coach at heart. And you're doing this to a young lady, and I wonder if this lady was going to Alabama or Auburn, would he do this?
I was literally thinking the same thing.
That was the first thing that came to mind. When you kind of figured out that it came down to one person in the state of Alabama, you thought, well, she's leaving the state of Alabama.
She's leaving the state of Alabama.
There could absolutely be some vindictiveness on Severise's part. And that's just embarrassing, and I don't want to go down that road. I've railed on the NCAA and any kind of institution that does things like this. It bugs me to no end. It's embarrassing. It's idiotic.
Sad, man.
Yeah.
Sad. Really, really, truly sad. 865-250-5503. Had a good question on the text box about Alabama going and possibly signing 28 players. And that question, Charlie, did you have pulled up there?
Well, it's already passed us by now. But the general question was, Alabama obviously got Chris Bogle over the weekend. He hasn't signed yet, but that gives Alabama 28 recruits in the class of 2019. And the person asked, how are they able to do that? It's a hard cutoff at 25, generally speaking. How are they able to have more than 25?
Yeah, the SEC made a rule a couple of years ago to prevent over-signing, and that rule was that you sign 25. But we have seen in the past that you can back count, you can gray shirt, you can do things like that to make up the numbers. So this year they only signed 21 kids. So that's 4 extra they can use for this year's class. So they could technically sign another player. They can go 29 if you look at it that way. Tennessee may have to go a little short this year because they brought in more players in last year's class. So that's why Alabama was able to sign 28. How I look at it from my viewpoint, looking at their commitments from last year and the 25 limit on the rule there.
Do NFL decisions impact the current class or next year's class?
You mean guys leaving?
Yes. So if I believe Josh Jacobs is a junior. If Josh Jacobs decides to declare for the draft,
it doesn't impact this class.
It impacts next year's class.
Yeah, you can have a total of 85 scholarships. So just because someone leaves or someone transfers out doesn't mean you can go sign extra kids in that class. You can get a hardship waiver, which we had 2 players that have gotten that already. So now you can add those 2 if you want to. You don't need to just add players just to add them. Don't add a lifetime backup. If you can go out and bring in a George Pickens, or you can bring in an extra big-time player like Chris Bogle, something like that, then okay. But you don't just use that number just to go get a special teams player for 4 years. So.
And Jameson asked that in the sense of, do you think that helps Tennessee with Henry To'o due to them running out of room? I think Henry To'o, if he wants to come to Tennessee, he's a guy that Tennessee, he's one of the 4 or 5 left that easily has a spot. And
they'll make it work.
Unfortunately for a guy like Christopher Russell, the kid out of Dyersburg, 3-star linebacker in the state of Tennessee, that I would be surprised if he didn't come to Tennessee. Unfortunately, if To'o decided to come to Tennessee, I think that would impact maybe his spot.
Well,
unless Tennessee wanted to take 2 linebackers.
If both of them want to come, I think you try to make it work. I think you have to.
Well, it just depends on what the coaching staff and Jeremy Pruitt sees as immediate needs, I guess, because
it's linebacker.
Well, you also need another defensive lineman. Right now, you don't have like a tremendous edge rusher coming in. You have Roman Harrison, but he's not this bona fide big-time recruit. Not that that matters. Coy Vereen was able to impact as a freshman as a 3-star. Derek Barnett, he was a 4-star, but he wasn't very talked about coming in. So I'm not saying Roman Harrison won't have an impact as a freshman, but they don't have a Chris Bogle type.
They need another one.
Correct. And you could use another secondary member. I think you're shored up at offensive line for this year's class.
Yeah.
You could use maybe another speedy receiver. You're full at running back. I mean, you're good at tight end, but on the defense at each level, you could use another guy.
Definitely a linebacker. I would take both of those linebackers if you had a chance, if they wanted to come. But Henry To'o is a Alabama lean right now, so we'll see what happens, man. Brian Niedermeyer is his recruiter, and we know how great he is. I was looking at T. Martin's history here, and he's coached wide receivers at every place he's been, except for at New Mexico when he was there for a year where he coached quarterbacks. There's so many different combinations that can happen on this offensive staff that folks are getting bogged down with this whole OC. Who's going to be the OC? What's going to happen? I mean, there's so many different combinations. T could come in, he could be quarterback coach. He could be a running back coach. He could be a wide receiver coach if Dave Johnson leaves. Does he want to? If I'm T, I don't know if I would. I mean, hey, you have had a great career coaching, recruiting, coaching, developing, and putting USC receivers in the NFL. You've had Biletnikoff caliber wide receivers at USC. If you look at our recruiting efforts, they have not been good enough. If you look at the competition, you look at Jordan Pruitt and what he wants from a recruiting standpoint, I think the direction we went in last year when he only had a few weeks and he was still going after the top guys. I think that tells you he's not going to stop going after the top guys. He's going to get better coaches who can recruit those guys. That's kind of my thinking on that situation. So can T coach quarterbacks? I'm sure he could, but I don't know if I would want to if I'm T. Could T coach running backs? Absolutely. I'm sure he could. I don't know if he would want to. What happens with Chris Winkie? What happens there with some of the offensive staff members? Again, I would put more numbers on offense than I would on defense, especially if Pruitt's going to be working with the defense player. Have you one secondary coach? Have you one linebackers coach? Have you one D-line coach? Whatever, D coordinator, whatever. I think this Tennessee staff missed that extra offensive coach. But you can make it work if you want to have the same number at DBs. I think bringing in either a Shark with a T or a Chaney with a T, or who knows, maybe be able to bring 3 new names in the offense. Who knows? But there's just so many different ways this thing can go, and I think it's going to shake out here in the next couple days, maybe a week or two. Should shake out. Swain Event.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
If you're among the 40% of obese American adults, you know that diet and exercise doesn't always work. The National Institute of Health recognizes bariatric surgery as the most effective, long-term treatment for severe obesity. Premier Surgical's 2 bariatric offices, Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons and New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery have helped thousands of East Tennesseans change their lives and health. Weight loss surgery has been shown to improve or resolve many obesity-related conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and sleep apnea. To learn if bariatric surgery is right for you, Attend one of the free seminars offered each month by New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery at Tenova Turkey Creek or Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons at Fort Sanders Regional. Visit our bariatric surgery page at premiersurgical.com for more information. Premier Surgical, expertise you can trust.
Gentlemen, when it comes to taking care of your health, sometimes the first step is the hardest. Low T Center is making it easier to take that first step. It all starts with knowing the numbers that are essential to a man. Testosterone levels, blood pressure, cholesterol, prostate, and thyroid. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to get all these levels checked and more. Low T Center specializes in men's health and has expanded their services, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, hypertension, severe allergies, high cholesterol, diabetes, and annual physicals, along with testosterone replacement therapy. The physicians at Low T Center not only want to help you feel good again, they want to help you prevent any serious health problems moving forward. Now, with the holistic approach to your overall health and wellness, Low T Center is making it more convenient for men to take care of their health, and most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify for you. Take the first step for your health and call 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388, or go to lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare.
You're listening to the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com.
Let's go to Neil and Mafia, who's on the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Neil and Mafia, good morning.
Man, good morning, guys. Long time no talk.
I know it, man. Feels like we talked to you last year or something.
A couple of things. Do we, if you were a betting man, would you lean more toward possible OC development being leaked while the coaches' meeting is still going on over the next 2 or 3 days, or would you look to something to solidify afterward? And secondly, and it's kind of unrelated, but the NCAA college football season is, it's just better than the NFL season. But the NFL postseason seems to be
Hey now.
It seems to be better than the NCAA postseason, and there are a lot of plans coming out for possibly an expanded playoff. And I was wondering if you guys were possibly a fan of any of those, and if you saw an expanded playoff coming up in there.
I hope it happens. Doink.
Oh, wow. That was terrible.
I thought we was friends, man.
We are friends. That
Oh,
was
okay.
a doink question.
What was your first question again? I forgot it, man. I got distracted by all your doinking over there. That's what you like to do, Nina Mafia. I can tell by your tweets that you like to doink a lot.
It was, after all the talk and everything and 40 days and 40 nights of all this, with the coaches' meetings happening now, do you see this OC thing wrapping up sooner rather than later?
Man, I think there's going to be some movement, man, just because that's where coaches who have jobs go to kind of talk to other guys and maybe move, or coaches who don't have jobs go down there and network, things like that. I just think there's going to be some movement here in the next couple of days. You have the national championship game that's wrapping up after today, and things happen fast. Remember, last year, the next day, Pruitt and Sheriff, they're on a plane to Knoxville to start their journey here at Tennessee. They celebrated for a few hours, and they were here. And so, what's going to happen with Josh Gaddis? And this is just a hunch or the guess, just connecting the dots here from everything that I know and people I've talked to and the players involved so far that we've heard of. This thing should move after today. The coaching convention is over on the 9th, which is Wednesday. It's still going on today, started yesterday, and then you have the championship game that's over after today. It should move. It should not go until National Signing Day. There's really no reason to.
It will. I said it earlier in the show. It will be a sign of a dysfunctional search, in my opinion. And I say dysfunctional not in the sense of the way the head coaching search went last offseason with John Curry and Philip Fulmer having to step in and all that. Not that form of dysfunction, but dysfunction in the sense of there is no clear plan. And that, to me, is disappointing. I understand that Jeremy Pruitt is a first-year head coach. I understand that Philip Fulmer is a first-year athletic director. But it didn't appear that they had a clear-cut plan, and to me that is disappointing because, sure, they have first-year titles, but they've been around college football for a while now. They know how these things work.
Yeah, the search didn't start great, but it can finish great.
Correct.
And if it goes on to National Signing Day, and again, they still can hire the right guy, but it would be easier to say it started bad and finished bad. It started without much direction. It started without any organization, and it finished that way too. I mean, you can say that. I think there should be some movement in the next couple of days because of the national championship game again and the coaching convention. What is Josh Gaddis going to do? That's a domino that I think is going to affect a couple positions and a couple programs. Tennessee, Alabama, Maryland, those 3 programs right there that could be affected by Josh Gaddis' decision. I can see that.
And if T. Martin were to come to Tennessee, I do think that would be this week, maybe early next week. I think that would be a relatively soon decision, just to kind of get going.
I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, at a certain point, you're completely out of reasons to continue pushing things out, and I would say this week is really that point. What else would there be?
Sarkisian. T has a better relationship with Sarkisian probably than Jim Chaney or anyone else. They worked together at USC. Sark retained T when he was on that staff, and they fired Lane Kiffin. I think T would love to work with Sark. Where are the NFL opportunities for Sark? I think if you are Sarkisian, maybe you want to stay in the NFL, but being able to coach with T, run the offense, and be the head coach of the offense, and having a guy like T backing you up, who knows your offensive system and who will recruit the player that you are looking for. That's a heck of a dang opportunity for Jeremy Pruitt. Is Sark ready to make a move, though? Is Sark ready to make a decision? NFL jobs people are interviewing for NFL jobs right now. What's going to happen? There's a ton of jobs open. Ton.
And nothing has – I mean, they've been open for a week now, and off the top of my head, unless I'm just completely forgetting, not a single one has been filled. I mean, there's rumors about Adam Gase, the Cleveland, and Hugh Jackson is going to take over in Cincinnati, but all these teams are tweeting out who they've interviewed, which I think is hilarious. I wish Tennessee football Twitter account had to tweet out, not even would do that, had to tweet out who they'd interviewed for the offensive coordinator position. I think that would be absolutely hilarious. But there's all these open positions, I believe 9 in total, 9 or 10, and not a single one has been filled.
Yeah, looking here is 8 so far. You have the – here we go. You got the Packers, the Browns, the Jets, the Broncos. You have the Bucks, Cardinals, and Dolphins. So 7 openings, which means how many offensive coordinator opportunities? 7. And also add how many quarterback coach opportunities? 7. So there's 14 spots that Sarkisian can fill.
He's got some options.
He could possibly fill 14 spots in the NFL. 14 spots. Does Sarkisian have a better opportunity being the head coach on offense at Tennessee?
Well, and not only do you have a bunch of head coaching vacancies, but a lot of those head coaching vacancies are going to be filled by coordinators, which opens up even more positions for Steve Sarkisian.
That's why I was saying when you were answering the phone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
7 offense coordinator opportunities, 7 quarterback coach opportunities. So that's 14 different spots that Sarkisian could fill. it's up to him. Do you want to go in college? Do you want to be in the pros? Sarkisian, T. Martin, to me, man, that's it. That's my number one scenario I would hope play out. Number one. I would hope that would play out.
My number one is Chaney T. Give me Jim Chaney and T. Martin all day, every day.
The reason why I go Sark and T because they work together before. They know each other.
Let me ask you this. If T. Martin doesn't come to Tennessee this time, will T. Martin ever coach at Tennessee?
It's possible, but it wouldn't be T's fault, just like it wasn't T's fault the last time, to be honest. Folks who know the least talk the loudest about the T. Martin stuff. They don't know how much he was offered. They don't know any of that stuff. All they know is Tennessee offered him. That was a PR move by Butch Jones to make it seem like he was going to go after T. Martin. Y'all don't know how much he was offered. T. Martin has always looked out for Tennessee, even when he was coaching in Kentucky. And I think he wants to be here, but he's not going to come here for pennies or come here without a co-offensive coordinator role. You know how great it would be for T, his future, to be the co-offensive coordinator with Sarkisian, and you are actively involved in the game planning and some of the play calls during the game. You may not be the play caller, but your role in devising the offensive game plan, man, that's going to help you become a head coach. That's going to help you move up that ladder. And I look at the T. Sarkisian combination, for me, number one, because those guys work together. T can help Sarkisian teach the other offensive coaches the offense, whereas T and Chaney, they haven't worked together before. That's the only reason I give the slight edge to that combination over Chaney. Now, I like me some Jim Chaney. I love me some Jim Chaney. But him and T, they haven't worked together before, and so that's a wild card for me, whether or not they would work well together.
Does Catholic High School here in Knoxville need a new quarterback?
Catholic? I'm not sure.
Because, I think that's a factor in the sense of T. Martin's son was a starting freshman at quarterback at his high school in California. Does Catholic need a new quarterback this year? Yeah. I mean, Catholic's got some beef along the offensive line that could take care of him.
He can use his brother's old locker, Amari's old locker over there. So, all right, let's get to the phones and who we got there.
It's just Volstorm. Are you sure? Are you sure we want to get to him? If we can wait till 9:56 with like a minute left in the show.
No, man.
Okay.
Volstorm, my guy, man. Let's hear from Volstorm. Volstorm, good morning.
Leave it to Ben to throw in a cheap shot there.
Yeah, I heard Ben answer the phone call. He's trying to be all buddy with you, and then he get on the air. He's trying to throw a cheap shot at you.
That's not true. I was not buddy because do you want to reenact how you called in, Volstorm?
I was trying to do my best Titan Bill impersonation.
Go for it. Let me see your Titans Bill impersonation.
I said, good morning, Benjamin. How are you, my friend?
Oh, yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it.
Yep.
You nailed it.
Jason, how tightly did you clean your little Care Bear doll last night whenever you saw the double clank?
10 minutes after the game, I left the house and I went to go to a meeting. And I snapped and cleared, man. I truly did. I snapped and cleared. I was devastated at first, but I'm good now. I'm good.
I had to throw in Care Bear there for Triple OG.
Oh well, hey, I understand. The Bears' future is a whole lot better than the Lions' future, and a lot of teams' future. I think this team is young. They tripped up. I think the Bears need to get themselves a new kicker. There's no doubt about that. But the Bears had several opportunities to win that game. Allen Robinson, if he would have drug his toe the way he's supposed to as a wide receiver on the sideline, they would have scored a touchdown and would have been moving on to LA.
Volstorm, I'm sure you heard us talking earlier. Do you have an NFL team? We don't really know if you have an NFL team.
I do not have an NFL team. I will root for the state NFL team just because they're in state. But as far as being a fan, I don't own a single bit of NFL merchandise just because I grew up in that era where there was nothing around here, NFL. So I never had allegiance. I know some people go to the Steelers, some people went to the Cowboys, so on and so forth. There was never any team that I just clinged on to. To me, the Balls were my pro team.
So you're the friend. So you're the friend that is single. All your boys are married, and all you do is crap on them in their situation. But you single, so you can never ever experience any heartbreak. You're that guy right now. You don't have an NFL team, so all you do is give us crap for our teams losing. We can't crap on you because you don't have any feelings. You don't have a team.
Yeah, it's called living the dream, Jason.
Stink.
I think your favorite NFL team is the team that the Steelers and the Bears are playing that particular week.
No, because truth be told, I was rooting for the Bears last night.
Thank you, man.
I wanted the Bears to beat Philly, if nothing else, so I could hear pain and anguish in Basilio's voice.
That was tough, man, because I know Basilio's a huge Eagles guy. They won the championship last year. I would have not trash talked at all if the Bears would have won. Man, Nick Foles is the real deal, which is why I said all week that I was nervous. I said I was nervous, and that's the reason why. Nick Foles, he's a stud. And through 2 picks.
I mean, how do you explain that? That's 2 years in a row that they've brought in Foles around playoff time, and then he's just leading them to win after win after win. I mean,
he's never lost a playoff game.
It's like you have Wentz for the regular season and then Foles for the postseason.
The dynamic duo.
If I'm the
Philly special.
If I'm the Titans, man, I go get Foles
or Wentz.
200%. Although I mean, the strange thing is that Foles, he goes through these stretches where, I mean, like if he would have played better, arguably, Philadelphia could have won that game sort of comfortably. I mean, Chicago scored 15 points.
The first throw wasn't on him.
But you know what I mean.
He played damn good.
He finished incredibly well, obviously. But
I thought he played good, man. That's number one defense. Khalil Mack at your throat. Number one takeovers. He threw really one interception that was a bad ball. I mean, he did a good job getting rid of the football early. I mean, I thought he played well.
But point being, he goes through stretches where he doesn't play the best, but then when it matters the most, that's when he's at his best, and that's what you want out of a quarterback, I guess. I would 100% be okay with the Titans going to get Nick Foles. Let me just say that.
Ben said, "Or Carson Wentz."
I would be okay with that too. Yeah. Two guys that are proven to be good.
Dak Prescott and Marcus Mariota. One just won an NFL playoff game. The other did not play Week 17 when the franchise needed him to.
That's easy. It's Prescott because at least he'll survive the season.
At this point,
I tried thinking about it.
At this point, yeah, it's got to be Dak. I mean, there's still that factor that I think when they play their best, Mariota is the better player, but Dak plays every week. So that's, I think I have to go with Dak.
Quick thing right here.
When Dak played his best, he was an MVP candidate. When Marcus played his best, when was that? And who was talking about him winning the MVP?
Marcus Mariota has won the same amount of playoff games as Dak Prescott.
When they're playing at their best, one was MVP caliber, one was not.
Well, and I'll say this: Mariota has never had somebody like a Zeke Elliott in the backfield with him until this season. There, he didn't have a 1-2 punch in the backfield. He's had crap receivers the entire time, except for Delaney Walker.
Dak has also had crap receivers until they got Amari Cooper, and
that's true for the most part.
Marcus Mariota had DeMarco Murray, and DeMarco Murray, aside from last season, was very good with the Titans.
He had a good season, one good season. Yeah.
When do you guys think we're realistically going to wrap up this OC search?
Never. It's never going to happen.
The Christmas tree stays up.
It's the New Year's tree.
Hey, I still got my Christmas tree up too, so.
It stays up, man. It stays up.
That's my excuse now. And I heard that this morning. I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep up my Christmas tree till we hire an OC.
That's mine. That's mine.
I don't know. I'm getting tired of hearing all the rumors and the speculation and, this person could be a possibility or, Jim Chaney hadn't done anything with his contract or T. Martin, blah, blah, blah. I mean, nobody cares anymore.
You antsy. You antsy. I get it, Volstorm. I get it, Volstorm, man. Good to hear from you. I do not know about, in detail, the conversations between Chaney and Pruitt. I think they have talked. I'm pretty sure they talked. Anything past that, I don't know. I know Pruitt and T talked. I know Pruitt and Lebby, Jeff Lebby has talked. I know that Pruitt is really interested in Sarkisian, may possibly reached out to him. And that's pretty much it. I do not care about being first. I don't care about being right. That's all I care about. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know every single thing. I do a pretty good job of talking to a lot of people to try to find out what's going on and so I can be accurate and fair. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what Pruitt's going to do right now because I don't. And I think Pruitt has made it that way. That's how he operates. Another name we need to throw in here who could possibly be an on-the-field coach next year is John Lilly. John Lilly is Pruitt's right-hand guy. He is a seasoned, well-respected assistant coach. He's that dude. And if Brian Niedermeyer wasn't so great at recruiting, Lilly probably would be the tight ends coach. Lilly can coach multiple positions on offense. So he's a name to watch as being a guy who could come onto the field. I'm not saying he'll be offense coordinator or anything, but he could come onto the field, because he's the real deal. He's a stud now when it comes to being a coach at this level. Is that Tiger Rag?
Sure. It's the Clemson fight song.
It's Tiger Rag.
Because today we are all Tigers. Go Clemson. Beat the absolute you-know-what out of Alabama.
The only reason I know that's Tiger Rag is because that's Grissom High School's fight song. My high school, Grissom Tigers, that's our fight song, Tiger Rag, which is the same thing as Clemson's fight song. Whatever.
All in. Hashtag all in. Go Amari. Go T. Go Sunshine.
Trevor Lawrence.
Travis Etienne. Go that Ross kid. Go everybody. Go Dabo.
Definitely Ross because he's from Alabama. He's from Phoenix City. So let's go, Justin Ross. Hour 3 powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense?
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The Berry Punch and Activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the Pure Recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain-O, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The Chocolate Gladiator and the Chocolate Shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you'll feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
Are you looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? If so, then call me, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. I take a no-nonsense approach to the real estate transaction. No fluff, just facts. Having lived and worked in the Knoxville area for 19 years, I am very familiar with the local real estate landscape and am ready to help you get the most money for your property with the least amount of hassle in the shortest amount of time. No one likes for their home to sit on the market for months at a time. If a straightforward approach to your real estate needs is what you prefer, then give me a call. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty at 865-694-5904 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Tennessee Levi on the text box says, what about the BS no catch call? Yeah, I mean, that was a controversial point in the game. Anthony Miller caught the ball, took 3 steps, and the ball was stripped out right before he hit the ground. Because no one recovered it, according to the NFL rule book, it's hard to overturn the call of an incomplete pass. Stinks. That was a very crucial part in the game. But I don't look at that one play as the reason why the Bears lost. Football's game filled with so many different plays. And, yes, that play could have turned the game. But there's other plays the Bears did not make. I mean, that easy flat route that Golden Tate ran to score a touchdown, all that separation, I mean, why was he guard Golden Tate? That's the quickest receiver on the Eagles team. Probably could have been a better matchup there for the Bears. A lot of separation, man. A lot of separation for the NFL.
My only complaint with the whole Anthony Miller catch there near the goal line is that it just seemed like the NFL kind of made up a rule on the fly almost. And, like, because like you said, it could have been a big momentum play for the Bears. It also could have been a big momentum play for the Eagles. If an Eagle picks up that ball, it's the Eagles' ball right there on the 5-7 yard line.
If the Eagles recovered it, it would have been the Bears' ball because they could have overturned that. Because no one jumped on the ball, you can't overturn it because no one recovered it. That's the reason why it stayed the same.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But if the Eagles had a clear recovery of the fumble, that was a fumble.
Yes, true. That's right. If the Eagles would have recovered that. Remember, Matt Nagy challenged that. Mm-hmm. That challenge would have bit him in the butt. Eagles would have had the ball. Correct.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think the Bears made a field goal going into halftime, if I remember correctly. So that put 3 points on the board for the Bears, where if the Eagles had a clear recovery there at the 5 yard line, they'd take a knee, go into halftime, whatever the score would have been.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was just weird because like the referees didn't know what to do in that situation because it was a clear fumble, but nobody recovered it. So what do you do in that situation? It was just funky because it kind of seemed like they just made up a rule on the fly.
Yeah, it did seem like that at first, and then they went back and they dug deep into the rule book, and they found where in that scenario you can't reverse a call if no one recovers the ball. So,
which I guess that's probably a good rule because what do you do in that situation?
They got to change that rule.
I know, but the what?
You change it.
What should the outcome be?
It should be
it should be the offense's ball in that situation.
But why should the offense be awarded for fumbling it?
Because they caught it at least. If the defense don't recover it, then they don't get it either. But why should it be a no catch? It was a catch.
And he fumbled it.
So you gonna take away the catch?
I don't think you should. I think in that situation, you're rewarding the offense, and I don't think the offense should be rewarded for fumbling the football. Yes, it was a catch. I agree with you, but I just don't think. I don't think either team should be rewarded. I think you should just kind of do the play over again.
No, the catch happened. You did not recover the football. That's on you for not recovering the football. I think that rule should be changed.
But isn't it on both teams for not recovering the football?
Correct, but something did happen and a catch was made. So I think the catch should be right there where the catch was made and he goes down. I think that rule should be changed.
So like
moving forward,
like Tennessee Levi says, they fumble out of bounds. It's just kind of
If you don't recover it, then that's on you. And offense just gets the I guess the reward there. I think that's the way it should be.
Why are there Tennessee? This is off the point of what y'all are talking about. Why are there Tennessee fans who are Bears fans? Obviously, I know why you're a Bears fan. Swain, and it makes sense. That makes sense. But I tweeted last night. You know, they were booing Cody Parkey as he went off the field. And look, I get it. That dude was terrible all season. He probably deserved the boos. At the same time, I was like, the defense had the biggest moment in the entire game. And they blew it, and you ain't booing them. And I tweeted about that, and I had multiple people who are Tennessee fans all up in their feelings. Well, this and that. Why are you a Bears fan? That's what I want to know. Like, what's the background there?
Because the Bears defense still held the Eagles to 16 points. The Bears defense got 2 turnovers.
The offense didn't do enough.
Parkey,
it was the offense
missed
largely
11 field goals throughout the season. He was consistently bad, and I'm sorry, I'm not even ripping him that much because the ball was tipped too at the line of scrimmage.
And he made 3 other field goals in that game.
Yeah, so he shouldn't even been used as much as he was, to be honest. I don't blame the Bears defense. Obviously, if you are on that defense with the Bears, you take responsibility a little bit more because you say, hey, we should have stopped them. We should have stopped them. But golly, you got 2 turnovers, held them to 16 points. I mean,
yeah, the defense was fine, but you can just everybody always tries to fight back about that. But I mean, you could say it for the entire team. Well, Trubisky should have made more plays. Well, you know, Khalil Mack didn't have a sack on the final drive. You know, and everyone was like, oh, well, he makes $9 million, this and that. Well, you know, Mitch Trubisky makes millions of dollars, and he didn't make enough plays in that game yesterday. So nobody. It's such an easy scapegoat to lay it on the kicker like that, and I don't know. I hate that, but it's just me.
If you want to look at one thing, the one thing is that you have to score touchdowns in the red zone.
Yeah.
If you want to look at one thing of why the Bears lost, they did not score touchdowns in the red zone. They kicked too many field goals. They got to finish. That's why I think they need to get themselves a tight end, like a Zach Ertz who can be a big target in the red zone, can help Mitchell Trubisky on some of those 3 and outs that we saw last night. Get yourself another wide receiver that's shifty, that can make plays. I think that's the direction they need to go in, or maybe a lineman that can help with some protection. You saw the difference in the Colts with that Nelson.
Quentin Nelson.
With that Nelson.
He's the best offensive guard in football as a rookie.
Woo! That move they made, and that's why our guy – oh, my God.
It starts with a D.
Oh, my God, man. I just have a brain fart. Live radio. My goodness.
You talking about the
Mike Detillier.
There you go.
So that's why Mike Detillier pointed at him as the best pick, because that dude's a mauler, and that's been the difference in the Colts. You've kept Andrew Luck upright, and they have a physical, tough identity running the football with Marlon Mack and them. I wouldn't mind going offensive line. Anyways, Fanatic Vol says Bears fan because I was raised right. LOL. No, for real. Though my dad was a cop in Chicago for years.
Okay, that makes sense.
Was a diehard Bears fan, so I grew up watching them. Mailman Dave says Bears fan since I was young. Walter Payton, Mike Singletary, 2 of my all-time favorites. So
sure,
yeah.
I always find those kind of things interesting. You got Cowboys fans among Tennessee fans. Obviously, you got Colts fans. I don't know if anything annoys me more than that. Peyton doesn't play there anymore. Stop being a Colts fan. But
that's the way people are brought up. It's just like
yeah, I know.
When I was young, living in New York, the Steelers and Jerome Bettis were on television every Sunday, and that was back in the early 2000s. As a young kid, I wasn't aware of the Titans.
And that's exactly how I was. I mean, in my most formative years, 7, 8, 9 years of age, the Titans played in the Super Bowl, and I was like, these guys are awesome. I had an Eddie George jersey and a Steve McNair jersey. Now, I loved the Titans, and it's been torturous ever since. But no, I get it.
Another one, T and Owlman says, back in the 60s, a lot of Tennesseans went north, mainly Chicago area, for work. Most came back in a year or two, but the Bears came with them. Again, Tennessee didn't have an NFL team. So
yeah, not at that point.
That tough, gritty personality of a Bears team, Pittsburgh, Chicago.
I get it. Like the 85 Bears, if that was your, kind of how I said my most formative years were when the Titans played in the Super Bowl. If that was your formative years, the 85 Bears, that's a legendary team and one that made a big impact in a cultural way. So I get that.
We will go back to the text box after this. Stay with us.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End BBQ has a new slew of daily specials for the fall. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the smokehouse stew, barbecue cheddar meatloaf, or the smoked turkey and dressing, which includes sliced smoked turkey and cornbread dressing paired with sautéed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and a side of turkey gravy. While Dead End offers a different specialty meal each day, you can get their hillbilly chili every day. There is always something new at Dead End BBQ. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End BBQ. The fall flavor search is over.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA. You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
Join the Swain Event at Dead End BBQ on Wednesday, February 6th to celebrate the Vols' victories on the recruiting trail. Enjoy a special barbecue breakfast and listen to Jason Swain and the guys break down each signee during the special edition of the Swain Event live from Dead End BBQ. They will be giving away t-shirts and other awesome items. Former players will be on hand as well as great guests. What better way to celebrate the 2019 signing class than enjoying some delicious barbecue and hanging out with the Swain Event? Spend National Signing Day with the Swain Event and Dead End BBQ.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Goes your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Let's see here. On the text box this morning, Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ, hour 3, powered by Low T Center, lowtcenter.com. Someone says, come on, Swain, don't get me excited. Like, I know it's a joke. That's a joke. But like on Twitter, like, you share a little information and folks think you're like trying to get them excited. I'm just trying to give you some information that you may not know about. Coaches search, the coaching convention is going on right now. That may cause some movement. This staff has not recruited the way they probably wanted to. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't that bad. It needs to be better if you want to catch up with Georgia and Alabama. So we know T. Martin's been talked to. Possibility of him coming in as a co-OC. That doesn't happen unless you have some changes on the staff, on offensive staff. And so no one is like trying to play with your feelings or anything like that. Just trying to give you some information.
Well, I just know, honestly, at this point, to a lot of fans, like the word sources triggers them. Sources. You heard this. I'm hearing this. Sources are telling me. Like it's getting to the point where like where individuals was with Butch Jones, where people hear it and they're like, don't say individual. Sources, don't say sources. Because they have that reaction now where they say, I'm not going to get excited. I don't want to know this information because I'm just going to continue to keep getting let down.
But don't blame media members for that.
Yeah,
blame Tennessee.
Exactly. Don't shoot the messenger in that. That's the tough part.
Do you want information or do you don't? If you don't, then just close your ears and close your eyes.
Don't look at Twitter.
Just don't say anything. Just don't look at anything.
Like folks want information, they want to know what's going on, and when they're told what's going on, they don't like what they're being told.
I mean, I'm really cynical about it, and we're in it. And hear all that stuff all day. When I hear, when Bryce has a news drop, I think the same thing that I think a lot of fans do, where I just say, yeah, I'll believe that when I see it, when it comes around, whenever that guy actually is pen on paper and I have the contract, a copy of the contract in my hand at a press conference, I'll believe it then. I'm to that point, and like I said, we're in it.
And that's probably because of the history of Tennessee. And all the moves that's been made with staff, with the staff, either head coach or different assistant coaches, things like that, things not working out. But like no one's playing a game with you. Trust me. On Sundays, I would rather hang out with my family and not tweet at all. To be honest, I was at Costco getting like stuff for the week because school starts back tomorrow. I was getting ready for the Bears playing. Sundays are like my days to just chill and relax and spend time with the family. I try to decompress and detach myself away from my phone because I don't want to miss moments as my kids are growing up. So, like, you listen to the show long enough, like, I'm not trying to troll or play games. That's not my act. It's not.
I think what we need to do is we need to put in a signal emoji. You know, Batman has his signal for when his help is needed. We should pick an emoji, and then when something is about to happen, when we know something is about to happen, when this thing is about to end, we just tweet out that emoji.
Well, you know, one of the funniest things that's been going on Twitter to me personally is Neil Mafia, legend to this show. He's been tweeting kind of in this parody way, like the OC hire is like finding a new pope. He's been calling it the Vatican City report from the Vatican City, and so yeah, I mean you need like the white smoke at the Vatican City. We need some kind of signal to go up that says it is done. The new OC has been found.
I'm sure we can find an image on Google of orange smoke.
Yes, that's what it needs to be. Orange smoke coming out of a chimney.
An orange smoke flare, and then when that is tweeted out, that is when this thing is done.
I don't know all the emojis. What's the library of emojis? I don't know.
There's a lot of them. But see, we can't just go basic eyeball emojis. It needs to be something that is really, it really describes, it really symbolizes what this offensive coordinator search has been. So I think the poop emoji would be phenomenal.
Yeah, but if Tennessee was just going to just hire an offense coordinator and that was it, we're filling just one position, then I would understand doing that. But I got a feeling there's going to be some changes on offense. It's going to be more than just one guy coming in. And that's what people don't understand. They think it's just going to be an offensive coordinator hire. It's like, oh my God, we haven't hired a coordinator yet. Well, part of a coordinator could be a running back coach or another receiver coach or another quarterback coach. I mean, it could be more than just one guy coming in. I don't think Brian Niedermeyer is going anywhere. And Will Friend's not going anywhere. One recruits a high level, one has OC experience and has a great relationship with Pruitt. I look at guys who have not recruited at a high level, and you can kind of put two and two together about who could possibly be in another position next year, another job next year. I mean, I'm just putting two and two together. And I did that same thing with Gillespie. It's like, man, Gillespie has not recruited that great here in Tennessee. Ugh. And then when they brought in Chris Winkie, I was like, well, that makes sense. Now, I'm saying today that my expectations for Chris Winkie were a little bit higher. F. Felton 25 says that I don't think Pruitt would let Winkie go because of his connection to IMG. Fair would be the first to go. Charles Kelly probably gets another DC opportunity soon. So if those two go, then Winkie, the special teams coordinator, then Sarkisian Chaney, slash Sarkisian Chaney, et cetera, at OC, T as co-OC running back coach, whatever title makes everyone happy. I'm sorry. I don't think the IMG pipeline really worked out with Chris Winkie. I don't think it worked out one bit. If you want to count Chris Akprogene as one, you can do that. I'm not. The kid's from that. He's from Knoxville. He's from Knoxville. His parents who brought him in live in Knoxville, so there's a tie there. It's not like he brought in Noah Cain or some other player from another part of the country to come to Tennessee. I don't think that pipeline really worked out. And I didn't think the running backs were that good this year either.
They weren't great, but this is a totally different conversation, but I do put that more in the offensive line. They had nowhere to run.
There were multiple problems there.
It was just a big situation.
Yeah.
Jerry got blown up. It wasn't always offensive line.
I understand.
That's true.
The way some of our guys read holes, that ain't always on the offensive line either. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying it's
Chris
all
Winkie
on the offensive line.
wasn't great to me as a running back coach, and he was not great in recruiting. Now, that could just be one bad year, and he can come out and knock it out of the park, but I'm just telling you what I saw, and it could have been better. So does he move? I don't know. I think it's a possibility. that's why it's taking so long, is you're not just talking about bringing in one guy to be the coordinator. You're exploring bringing in multiple guys. All right, let's go to the phones.
We've got John.
John, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Hey, John.
Hey, up here in Minnesota, so about a couple things. First of all, Cody Parkey missing that field goal, and Neil and Mafia talking about that OC search and the conclave and the Pope and stuff. Let's piggyback off that a little bit. We got looking at U.S. Bank Stadium last night. There was some white smoke coming out the top. I think the curse of Gary Anderson and Blair Walsh has been lifted, and sorry, Swain, but that's on Cody Parkey and the Bears now.
Yeah, I know the Vikings, they had to deal with that not too long ago, the field goal kicker missing the field goal to win. The only way I give Cody Parkey a little bit of grace is the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Right.
A little bit of grace.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, like y'all were saying about, I mean, you can't lay it all on the kicker. And to that point, that was a couple years ago. I went down to Vikings training camp, and I was at that game where Blair Walsh missed that field goal against Seattle. And I went down to training camp the following year, and Blair Walsh is he's signing everybody's autograph. He's on like a redemption tour. And I had my Vikings shirt on. I had my Tennessee Vols hat on. I asked him for a picture, and I said, "You have to say go Vols." And he went to Georgia, and he said go Vols. Wow. That's how bad it was. He was. I mean, I felt bad for the guy. I mean, you could just see it in his face. Like even a year, like training camp the following year, like he just felt so bad. And but yeah, you can't lay it all on the kicker. But
here's what sucks too, John. Here's what sucks, man. When you think of the Bears and kickers over the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 seasons before the Bears decided to make a move in 2015, it was Robbie Gould. Robbie Gould was let go. He went to the Giants, and then he went to the 49ers. And Robbie Gould this season was 97%.
I believe he was 34, 35.
He was 94%. He was 33 of 34 on the season.
My God. That's wild.
Didn't they cut him?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yay.
And he was he's one of those lifers. He's like a Devin Hester. He's Devin Hester type.
Yeah. No, that's kind of hard as a fan, though. And I mean, like, as grown up as a Vikings fan, I mean, you got Gary Anderson, Blair Walsh. It just like never ended.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man.
It is.
Anyways, enjoy the curse of the kickers now, Swain.
No, we're gonna get rid of our kicker. It won't be a curse.
Well, as bad as your kicker was this year, nobody was worse than Chris Boswell for the Steelers. I promise you that.
But you know what was funny that I saw a couple people tweet after Parkey missed that kick was that the national championship game in 2013, Auburn and FSU, Auburn lost by 3 points. What happened in the second quarter? Cody Parkey missed a 20-some-odd yard field goal, a very, very short chip shot.
Makeable.
And he missed it in that game, too. So think about how brutal that's got to be, like, on your psyche. You missed, I'm sure that one wears on you. National championship game, your team loses by a field goal, and you missed a chip shot in the game. And then past that, now you have this that is just, I mean, it's got to be the worst. I think the only way that this could really be worse is if it was the championship game for the conference or the Super Bowl. He's had a tough go of it, Cody Parkey.
I want to highlight something that's really cool, and this will be really cool for those who believe, who are believers and practice Christianity as their choice of faith. I'm not about to get religious on you today at all, but in that moment when he missed that field goal, you know what he did?
He after the game, he went to midfield with the rest of the players who chose
Well,
to and prayed.
I noticed very very visibly he pointed upwards.
He pointed upwards.
Yeah.
When he missed it, he gave thanks. That's strong. That's strong. In your worst moment, and there's nothing worse than being a player on the free throw line with a chance to win a game for a championship and you miss it and your team lose, like a Nick Anderson did at Orlando Magic. And then Cody Parkey, chance to win and go to the next round of playoffs, and you miss it. In that moment, your worst moment as an athlete, you give thanks. I thought that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
All right, let's get to the phones. Who else we got?
Nobody. That is just John listening in on
Oh,
us.
my bad then.
It's all good.
So you sent me some emojis.
I did. These are my choices for what the emoji should be when this offensive coordinator situation is finished. I sent you the headphone because during the game, the coordinator will be wearing headsets.
Okay.
I sent you a microphone because he'll be speaking into a mic to call in the plays. I sent you a snail because this thing has moved along at a snail's pace.
Okay.
I sent you a poop emoji because it has been in that's self-explanatory. And then this is from myself and Nathaniel Rutherford. The trash can emoji with the fire next to it to signify it's been a dumpster fire. Those are my selections. I also thought about doing like the little A-OK sign, as in just hallelujah, it's over, or even the hallelujah hands.
Yeah, the hands. The hands
Yep.
up.
Hallelujah, hands is good. What about the shouting emoji when someone get ready to shout?
That's a good one.
The emoji people use when they say for the people in the back.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Let's see here.
I thought about putting a bulldog in case it is Jim Chaney.
Okay.
Jim Chaney's coming from Georgia. The sword for T. Martin because he's coming somewhat from USC.
Okay. What about this whale? The whale.
Is it like a white whale one?
Yeah, we landed a whale. Maybe that one. I don't know.
If we land Jim Chaney, the whale could signify many things.
It could.
You could do the house for T because he's coming home.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
I'm not gonna say this.
Never mind.
The eggplant. What?
Yeah, the eggplant.
Cause you excited?
Well, I don't know about excited, but
you could do the lock to say that
you locked down.
You locked down your guy.
He's the guy we wanted. We locked down the guy we wanted. Or we could put the bomb. That's what Eddie the Don wants. The bomb emoji.
Neil Mafia, I know what he's gonna do. It's definitely the eggplant.
100%. And then if it's Jim Chaney, it'll be a Georgia peach next to it.
Oh man, Robbie sent just a cup of bourbon, glass of bourbon.
There's also the middle finger emoji to just this entire process.
It deserves it.
That'd be great too, man. That'd be great too. Those are emojis we can use instead of the eyeball emojis, right?
Yes.
I'm with it. Hopefully sooner than later, but I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of different directions Pruitt can go. A lot of different combinations he can bring in here to be on his staff. So I hope it includes T. Martin. I don't care if it's Sarkisian or Chaney. I hope it includes T. Martin. I really, really do. But at the same time, I want the best for him. Clemson, Alabama tonight. I think we all gonna go with Clemson, hoping they win. But who you think is gonna win?
Go Clemson. Go T.
Go
Go Amari. I got Alabama 34-24.
All right, we're going for Clemson.
Alabama 41-20.
We root for Clemson. Don't know if they'll win or not, but go Clemson. For Ben McKee, Charlie Burris, Jason Swain here. Hope you have a great day. Peace and love. We're out.